And we are live. Let me see if I could manage something through here. Okay, I think we're like. I think it's the same. Isn't it the same one? Then no, it's not. No, it is. So, um, so yeah, this is the last stream of my, at least me and my grandpa's house, at least, and it's kind of I would say very sad. Um, s- so hold on, I'm just before I speak anything, I just want to fix a couple of things. That's in here. I mean, no one's watching at the moment, but I think by then it would notify everyone that's notified there. Okay, so put the link there, and yeah, so yeah, we're moving out of my grandpa's house. It's a very sad reality that I have to do. I do not want to do this in the first place, because I had plans to live here through generations, and that it to me it's a very sad I would say goodbye. I mean, I my family has been living here since the early 80s, and my grandfather, he kind of built it. I'll make a video most about it. He built it in. I wouldn't say he built it, but he built at least the interior of it in the early '80s. And to me, it's sad that's gonna be all the way, and kind of just pay respects to modernity. Honestly, I can't see it being without being changed or being preserved by somebody else. And to me, that's just very sad. And when it comes to recording 78s, and and stuff like that, I wouldn't be able to record any other new. If I have any other newer 78s, I cannot. For the meanwhile, I cannot record records from my console stereo, because I wouldn't be able to use it when I move to this new place. So that's going to be another sad thing. But I have a 1956 RCA portable, so I will be able to do those things with it. I have to fix it first, and then um, and see how it goes. Hey Chase, how you doing? So once I get it fixed by a friend of mine who knows how, he has more experience than I do. Once it's completely fixed, I will able to uh, I would able to actually do um, record newer 78s from that, and mm, so yeah. Hi Colton, how you doing? So that's, yeah. So yeah, it's very sad that I'm leaving here. This is the last stream I'm ever going to be in here. I've had streams in here before. I don't have a lot. I didn't stream much often than I used to, but so I didn't have a lot of streams of me being in my grandpa's house. But at least I had much that were like at least good enough that I was there, and it's going to be sad because even my grandpa's house was the heart of having an idea of having a YouTube channel in the first place. So that too, and just pretty much losing everything of what's really left of him, and what's it's really hard if you look at it in a way. If you have a house that's been there for at least like 5 decades, and you grew up there, you lived there, and you have history there, and you just have, due to economic reasons, you just have to leave. It's a very hard process for me to process. So yeah. And if anyone wants to come up to the panel talk, just click on the link there. It's one of my talking streams, so it's not really another episode of me and Greg just pretty much just talking. So it's pretty much just a talk stream about my grandpa's house, maybe some history or things about that nature, or pretty much if there's any other questions about it. Oh, hi, Joanne. How you doing? Long time no see. I haven't heard from you in a while now. Like, long time no see. It's like I haven't heard from you from cheese in oh man. I would say almost a half a year. Guys, let me just pin the link too as well. I'm gonna pin it. Just pin the message there. Everyone wants to just come out talking. Are your Discords hacked? Damn, that jeez. So that's why I haven't heard from you in a while. Also, my PC screwed up, so I'm back now, but I miss it. It's okay, Chase. I haven't really talked anything important. It's just things about my grandpa's house and how I'm able to losing it because my grandmother doesn't know how. One, it's either the economy of the state, and I think it's also too as well. It's just how my grandma just rules it very poorly. So that's the reason why I'm just really, really losing it, and it's a really sad day because I only have two. I have 2 weeks left, so it's already August 2nd, and it's supposed to leave it August 17th. So it's that's that's hard. So it's not, you haven't really missed much. Yeah, yeah, sure. Just make sure, just send it to me in Discord. What your new account is, and I can write you back in as well to my server, Joanne. Also, Chase, are you a mod in here too as well? I wonder if you're a mod. Oh, yes, you are. Okay, you have a wrench, and we got Colton in here. So, let me add him in here. Hey, Colton.
There we go.
There we go. Yeah, I can hear you now. I'm not sure if the audience that's just what the three people that's watching can hear you, but I'm not sure if you guys can hear Colton.
Let me open up the thing here, muted, and able have feedback.
Yeah, make sure you don't get feedback in there too. That's what's there.
I can maybe watch it at least and see the chat. There you go.
Yeah, Chase, you're a mod. You have you have a wrench. I put you as a wrench. Okay, can I join Discord from YouTube? Joanne, if you go to my about page, you see the Discord link. So just click on that, and then we could I haven't put the Discord link down in the description, but I've just go to my about page and you see the Discord link. So how you been doing, Colton? How you doing of this evening?
All right, I suppose. Just trying to get some things sorted out and hear all these records I have. So it's just a
Yeah, I
bit,
know
but I
you
know you
got
have a
like
lot more issues.
oh yeah, you got like a big haul, a big haul of records. Um, you haven't told me about that Peerless record, and you only have like you said one. I know you had a bunch.
I recall seeing one specifically, but I know I have a fair number of foreign records.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. You did tell me you had a lot. You're in it. Okay. Whatever you have time, Chase. It's going to be pinged anyway, so it's pinged up there, so that's so you can join. So yeah, so we've recently took down a lot of the paintings, pictures, and a lot of the stuff we took down. And that's like literally in the living room, and like stuff that has to do a lot of work that we have to do. So we took those down, and a lot of some stuff for the kitchen too as well, and see what grandma has to save. So that's what we pretty much just did. Okay, that's something was on me. So that's pretty much what we did. Um, Nothing really that's too big and serious. They did clean out the down in the basement of what's junk, what's not. I don't know what they did, but it's a good thing it's not my stuff that I have downstairs. I have my globe from 1936 that it's from 36, 37. I showed you it, right?
The what now?
The globe that I have from I think it's from 1938. I think by judging the borders.
I believe so. I think you showed it to me on Discord a while back.
Yeah. Luckily, I have that. I was paranoid that they're gonna throw that out, but it's because it's really hard to find a globe from like pre World War II.
Yeah.
So I thought they're gonna throw that away, and then I think it has like the bottom has a little bit of like 1930s ish, 40s ish, like the bottom of the globe, much that holds it up and have like that style. So I took that in. I took that upstairs, so it's behind me. Um, but good thing they didn't throw out most of the stuff that I claimed, and that's mostly what my honestly what my family would do. So yeah, I mean, we really so Colton, mind showing the records or what you do? I mean, what you're doing right now? You can show it.
Well, let's see here. That I know that Peerless record is in one of these boxes, but I'm not sure which one, to be quite honest. I only recall seeing one other one. I don't know a whole lot about foreign labels, so
Hmm.
I couldn't tell you. I mean, I know I've seen some British records. I showed you on Discord before and in the GRC that one which I believe is Indian. I believe Indian made as well.
Right, the
Um,
HMV, right?
yeah, HMV. I was surprised to see that it's the only one I believe I found from the HMV
Hmm.
label. Let me go check and see if I can find that Peerless record real quick and see what's on it.
Yeah, sure. Ah, man. Yeah, so man, yeah, so all man is just really waiting. I don't really know what else to say, but that's kind of quite free. I honestly thought more people would come at least this last stream, but no one's not coming in, which you would think. So basically, just waiting for Colin to see his new record, right? Basically, yeah. But I'll make a video about my grandfather's house, and a new thing I want to make too is the history of my town. So I will be sharing that on here, hopefully. So basically, I'm waiting this guy for him to come in. Yeah, I literally thought more people's gonna come here, but that's just really not the case. Like I have a lot of I have a big following. I have a lot of subscribers, and you would think people would come, but it's just I don't have a lot of people that's gonna come here. Like on my in my Japanese video that I've posted, at least I only had like literally like 8 views, literally just no likes, like literally, but people literally I did look at the statistic on that, and people literally watched it. They just didn't put a like on it. So um I don't know what's going on there compared to like my my other records and videos. People like me documenting my grandfather's pictures, but I guess for records it's kind of a different story. I don't know why. And like very few people comment on it. Like a guy from Japan like literally commented on one of my videos, and he kind of liked the that Japanese Victor I posted. But other than that, I don't think there's I don't think there's other likes than that. No, this one has 3 likes, so probably like some other some other ones that liked it. That I wish it showed you who liked it too. On like the YouTube's like system. I just wish it showed who liked them, just like in Instagram. Like in Instagram, if you like post a story, it shows the people who liked the story, but in YouTube you don't really get that. Colin? What is he doing, man?
Alrighty, sorry, I had to look through like half of those boxes because I couldn't remember which one it was.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of boxes here. Let me see here. I'm not even gonna bother try to pronounce it. Let me look and see if I can find it on Discogs for you.
Oh, here comes Chase. Good evening, Chase.
Greetings.
Oh, you're very low. Once you said that. No, it's fine. I just can't hear you well on my end.
Let me see what I can do there.
Yeah, sure.
All right, how about now? How about
Much better. Much better. There we go. So it's much better.
and now?
Yep, I can hear
Okay,
you. Much
good.
better. Much
All
better
right.
than before.
Okay.
So how was your evening, Chase?
My evening is fine so far. Not much has been happening. It is now basically entirely dark outside down here, just like it is for you, except
Very.
I have lights on.
Yeah, my room is always dark. It's always dark. So and honestly, I just like it that way.
Like you have no lights in there?
No, I have a light. I just off, really. The only thing that's
All
literally
right.
on is the TV screen. That's the only thing I have that's on. I just like sitting around in darkness, or I have like a lamp on. So that's another thing I do.
Oh wow! Hello, Joe Marks. Hi there,
Did
Joe
you
Marks.
Joe
I
Marks
wouldn't
is in here?
expect you to be in here. Yeah, he's in there. I didn't know he followed you.
Oh yeah, he did. Oh, what's up, Joe?
Hey there.
Yeah, I know he's one of my subscribers in here. So
Yeah, I think it'd turn the stream into something legendary if he came in here as well.
well, he's allowed to if he wants to.
Joe, if you want to come in here and talk and broadcast over here to this entire stream, feel absolutely welcome to.
Oh yeah, everyone's welcome, man. Everyone's welcome.
Well,
So, uh, Colton. So what are you gonna show us? This Indian record or something?
No, I was trying to find the date on this Peerless record, but I couldn't see it on Discogs here, and I'm not entirely sure where to look. Do you have any place you look up Mexican 78s?
I think I know where because that's how I dated mine. What is it? What's it called? At least you know what? Just send it to me in Discord. Just type it what it is.
Yeah,
and
I'll
maybe-
DM it to you.
Yeah.
Because I know if I try to pronounce it, it's probably not going to be the same.
Right. Hello, I'm Zaxxon. I'm Zaxxon. I think that's how you pronounce it. Yeah. So yeah, just type it to me, and I'll just yeah.
It's a
And
fairly
if
nice
you want to
shape.
play it, Colton, feel free to, if you want to.
Really, all you have to do is just do the link that is pinned in the chat here. That's all you really have to do, and then it will tell
Yeah,
you what to do from there. It's
Joe,
stupidly simple.
It's literally simple. It's very simple.
Yeah, I've never done
Just
this before. and
click
it
the link,
works fine.
and I can just invite you in. It's very simple. You don't have to do nothing.
As long as you have a mic, you should be able to. It should work fine.
Yeah, exactly. So, let me see if I could type this in. Okay, that is an interesting name, Colton.
Oh, I'm
so-
sorry, I don't speak Spanish. That wasn't one of the languages I attempted to
Where?
learn at any point.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can translate it for you. real
He
quick.
just sent it to me. The Peerless record. Of what it is. Yeah.
If you ever want just a bunch of really weird names, you should look into either different language 78s or just go for anything that's like operatics or otherwise like that, like anything that's from like the operatics or like off Broadway or
Like
anybody
those
like
red-
that. Yeah, like
red
anybody like that, you'll find a bunch of weird last name and first names.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I've seen one of those red Victrolas that have like the those strange last names there.
Yeah, the first one that I ever got was a like Caruso record from like 1910 or something like that. I have a lot nowadays, but
I have one source on I might have to look at that further
if you want, I
because
can
it's giving
DM
me
you a picture of it.
1943 or 42.
What, for Victrola?
No, his Peerless. Joe's in here.
To my knowledge, oh shit, he's actually joining.
Yes, I am.
He's
Wow, we get to hear all of you two get to hear the voice of Joe Marks for the first time ever on air.
I did it. It was.
Yeah, see, I told you it was that simple.
Wow.
Wow.
Now if only we could get Victrola Jazz in here too, or one of the other legends in here too.
Oh
Make
yeah.
make a whole thing out of this. Just get
Right.
something like that. Well, how you doing, Joe?
Fine, thanks. I was just
Nice.
messing around with some records today to upload onto YouTube.
Nice. I can't wait to hear those. You always have a very good transfer quality.
Well,
Very,
thank you.
yeah.
Thank you. Well, it does take some work, with the condition of some of those records.
Oh, undoubtedly, yeah. I've
Yeah.
been honestly, I've been trying to put up one for a while now. It's nothing you would probably be interested in. It's a Red Label Columbia, but the thing is, the spindle hole has been so screwed up, so I can't even play it correctly because it'll just start going off center.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's an echo. Let me get some earphones. I think The computer.
I think you're fine on my end.
Hold on, I'll be back.
Yeah. Sure.
Oh, the echo that may be just because you're listening on stream as well.
Yeah, that could be it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, some of those
So-
records are really off center. I just picked up some records. I've got a different take of, oh God, what is it? It's a Sam Lannon. But not only is the spindle hole a lot of times off center, but it's a poor pressing. If you play it at 78, the needle jumps all around because when
Yeah.
you press it,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
grooves move back and forth for about the first third of the record. So I have to play it at 45, then so it'll track, and then I have to speed it up to 78 with the computer, so it'll play. So that's another problem I find, especially with those banners, cameos, jewels, those really cheap labels. You ever find that?
Are you saying Jewel, like the label Jewel of it was Cameo than early ARC?
Right.
I have not, but I've been wanting to see one for a while. I know that they sell every once in a while on eBay, but I'm not really one of the eBay people. I order every once in a while from there, though.
I'm a huge eBay guy. For
Of course, you are, Troy, because you don't have any 78s near you.
no, I don't. It's
What's the
very
matter,
like I
Troy?
said.
Get a wind-up record player. Get a wind-up record player.
I'm trying to, but everyone wants like $600 for one. I'm trying to.
Come on, Troy, join the club. Just go to the Midwest where there's nobody
Yeah.
out there.
Oh yeah, I could just go to the Midwest. Oh yeah, I could just walk there. I'll just Colin. I'll just walk to your house, and we can just go there together.
Yes, join the Steel Needle Club.
Yeah. Come play some records on my orthophonic.
I will.
Get my Viva Tonal up and running again, and then we can all just play them at the same time.
How was that thing, by the way?
Really, it's the main thing for me is I'm trying to get the spring barrel back together, but I only have two of the clamps and I need two more. Michael Kumela says I need at least 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
And then as soon as I get that down, I'll be able to put the rest together again, and then have it up. Maybe send the reproducer over to Wyatt Marcus, and since I'm not going to be handling reproducers at all.
The reproducers of them.
Yeah, he did a great job on mine. It's pricey, but he definitely does amazing work.
Yep, I believe it. He said for me that it's probably going to be somewhere around 130 plus shipping. But hey, I mean, you can't put you can't put a cap price on great quality.
I think it's worth it. I mean, as long as I think it's worth it. I would be able to send it. I mean, if it's like something that you can't really do, you know what I mean? I mean, mine. He's working on my portable, my 56 portable. I have a friend. I mean, he's doing it for free, but even if he charged me, it's still worth it. So,
Yeah.
hopefully, I'll be able to send it down to him and see what really he can do, and hopefully, he can be in a stream and we can talk about it, because he's one of my subscribers here, and obviously he has more experience on electrical machines compared to I do. So
Yeah, I don't think I'm ever going to get into anything electrical that I have to repair, considering it's taken me about a year to get it's been about a year now since I've taken apart the Grafanola.
right.
But hey, at least it's quicker than Greg's though.
Yeah, Greg. How long Greg had? He had like what that Grafanola for?
He
Jeez,
started working on it in like September of 2019, and he's just now getting it back together again.
that's like 3-4 years. Yeah. I haven't started mine. Jeez, the last time I played it, I think it was 2-3 years ago. So
What sort of setup do you have, Joe?
yeah, I was wondering. Yeah, I wonder what do you have, Joe?
Esoteric Sounds is a company, I think, in Chicago, and they make a lot of 78 RPM related things. And they sold, I bought it used. It's a Technics turntable with a 78 speed added to it. And then I have an old Sansui amp that I play it into, and it has a lot of nice switches for the bass, medium, and highs, and different filters. And then I just play it in the computer, and then I use either Audacity or Click Repair, some of those softwares. So it's just a regular turntable with a Shure stylus or a Shure cartridge, and it plays pretty much anything. Edison's, Pathes, depending on the size of needle you need, because there's a lot of variation between different record companies and how shallow or narrow or wide
Mhm.
the grooves were.
Yeah.
That really can affect the sound.
Has it been able to play those early Brunswicks at all?
Yeah, those were usually pretty well made. If you can find those in nice conditions, they can sound really nice.
I've honestly never even seen a picture of one of those. The ones from like 1916 to 1920.
Oh, I don't have. Okay. Because I was about to say I just recorded some Brunswicks from like the early 20s.
You mean those wings? I love the design of the wings.
Yeah, me
They
too.
are very nice to see. I have quite a number of those.
Yeah. So yeah.
Any of y'all have a favorite label yet?
That's hard for me. I would say as a person that collects Japanese 78s, I would say probably the mostly I think it's either the 1950s Columbias and the Japanese Columbias and the Victors, of how how they have like they all have all types of designs, so I kind of like the most of them. So which I could show like a good example. See if I have one. I'll be right back.
All right. I for one, I'm really liking these days. I'm really partial towards the Brunswick Light Rays.
It's a nice design.
Yeah,
Do you mean the label?
the label itself, like design wise, but also I've been looking into the whole everything with it too.
Oh, it's funny. I've had friends who aren't interested in records. If they see one of my Crown records from the early 30s, almost every one of them says, "Oh, that's a nice looking record."
It is. Crown is just amazing looking. That and also Domino is just as good. Like when Domino went yellow, I think that's about equal to the Crowns.
Yeah, those are nice. Yeah. You fool around with Edison discs much?
I have one Edison disc, which I got back in 2017 before I even knew much about records at all, and I played it on my little Crosley turntable. It's like this doesn't sound good at all, so I stopped with that. And of course, I've learned my fair share about Edison these days, and I've updated from that little Crosley thing. And but no, it's just really the formatically, I can't really do much with it. But I have, I've heard a lot of your stuff on there, your Edison transfers and other things like that too. It's a very fascinating company, and Edison was really, really insanely. I don't even know how to describe, but he's just Edison, so
Yeah.
kind of messed up with dealing with this stuff. Jack Stanley recently described in one of his videos is how did he watched over his format like a jealous father.
Yeah, it's really true from what I've read.
Yeah, I couldn't find them in the moment, but they are very beautiful.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can. I'm gonna put in my I'm gonna share my screen because I'm literally in the source right now. If I could find a good example right here, because okay, share my screen here.
Who's making that noise?
Yeah,
Is
who's
that
making
you,
that
Troy?
noise? Right? That's not
Okay.
me. Like these, Chase, right here.
What?
These Japanese.
Oh, I haven't even. Okay, yeah, I'm seeing now.
Yeah, like these right here, and that's when they But these like came in like all types of different designs and art. So depending on
So
like
different per release.
per release, yeah. So like whoever's singing it has all types of designs on it.
A nice
So
looking one though, that's for sure.
That's interesting how you seem to find that more in other countries than you do here.
yeah, mostly Japan is really. By like the 50s, they had like all types of they had all types of like all types of label designs on change on Columbia and Victor, and I think yep. No, actually no. Mostly a lot of the. I mean, the King Record one. It's kind of bland because they have on that label they got the face right of the singer. Most of them did have the faces of the singer, whoever the artist, and then it just says King Records, so just no design at all, unless if it's like Chimmy Airy, you know what I mean, and they would have like all types of designs in it, but for everyone else, it was pretty much really really bland for King Record.
Really, I don't know much about that king over there or anything, but it reminds me of over here we had in the 40s, 40s and early 50s, I think. We had the Vogue label which made picture discs. So it's like screw the label altogether. We're making the entire record into a picture.
Oh yeah,
Those things are. I mean, they're not really worth too much, but man, when you find those look absolutely stunning.
oh yeah, they
Yeah, I
do.
finally got
I've
one.
seen a couple. One of them, I've I did see the Japanese picture discs from like the 50s, but I didn't really buy it. I should have, but it's I'm moving and stuff like that, and I just didn't have the because it came from the home islands, Japan, so
Hmm.
it's gonna take a while for it to come. But it was literally in a beautiful picture disc of this woman. I don't know who the artist is, but she has in a full kimono on, so I'm guessing it's an Inca song. So
Hmm.
so that's basically what I'm guessing. Um, but um, but it was a beautiful one. I think that's also by Tishiku as well, which Tishiku was actually a own independent Japanese label. It wasn't backed by any other foreign labels.
Ah, nice.
Yeah. Hey Harry, how you doing? I haven't heard from him in a while too. Man, a lot of people is just starting to start. I haven't seen in YouTube for a long time. They're starting to come back.
I think I seem to remember. Hadn't didn't this channel get the most success whenever it was when it was streaming, anyways?
When Harry was streaming.
No, when we were streaming. I mean, like the you had your podcast going on, and you also had your dedicated live streams as well going on.
Yeah, I had those. Yeah, I think Harry would come there once in a blue moon, but I don't remember him. I think the last time I think it was one of my podcasts when he came in, or I'm not sure if it was one of my streams or the podcast I had with Greg, and we would talk about like different topics. But but I don't remember of. I think that's like the last time when he was in stream with me.
We need to get Greg in here. That'd be. He's always a situation. He's always a conversation helper.
He really is. He always brings up a lot of stuff, but sadly he's not in.
Yeah, he always has something to say. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, he's really good on bringing up conversations. So
Yeah, I pinged him on Discord, but he ain't responding.
well, that's him. So stopping by to see what's happening. Well, we're talking about 78s, Harry. So that's what we're talking about at the moment. Let me see.
Somehow it always comes back to the 78th.
I mean, I don't mind talking about 78s because it's things that I like to do. It's something that I enjoy. And I think we all enjoy.
It truly is one of the best parts of one of the best areas of just historical artifacts itself.
I think so too.
I really can't find a better example.
Oh yeah, I think so too because it's when you got me into 78s with the whole when the whole thing of when we like first met, it was at the with music prof 78 when they started to getting down
all that stuff.
When I played it for the first time, I just thought it was like, because I honestly I didn't knew records were that old. You know what I mean? I just didn't knew that they were that old. I know that PAX 41, he had the source was from the records, but I just didn't really thought of it until I had one in my hands.
Neither did I.
Yeah. So I when I played, I was like, man, yeah, that can be that person was actually, you can hear person's voice, even if you have like teens or hundreds records. I think regardless if you like them or not, it's kind of amazing to hear a voice that was for over 100 years ago.
Yeah, and I think about that all the time. It's like whenever I was a kid and really tween and teen and all that, 100 years ago was still thought to be 1900 to 2000, and everybody still counted like that, even though we were in the 2010s and all that. But now in the last couple of years, reality has caught up with us, so we're actually now. How whenever you'd show anything to anybody and they'd say, "Wow, this is 100 years old," it's like we can do that now, but we can do that with with your average Victor Batwing of Vernon Dalhart or of Joseph C. Smith or anybody else, and it's not really impressive much. It's like, yeah, it's 100 years ago. Yeah, the real good stuff is about 130, 140 years ago. That's
right. Yeah, right, exactly. So it's like I do like teens music, but I just like, but I think the most important factor of it is like what comes out of it.
In what way?
Like in ways like I said before, I find it amazing that it's you hear someone's voice from like 1914 or 15.
Yeah.
And the person was born, let's say, sometime in the 1880s or 1870s, and it just makes you wonder,
I can get that.
Yeah.
For me, I've gotten. I mean, I definitely resonate with that, but I've in more recent years been drawn to acetates for that same reason. But
yeah,
like you can get some guy who has only one record ever released by Columbia or Victor anybody else like that, yes, that's definitely something to look into. But it's a whole nother level when it wasn't even a public recording. So you have basically realistically, the only actual copy of this in existence. It's almost like you have somebody's precious family photos or letters to family or something, but you can hear it.
You can hear it. That's the most amazing part, because I can relate that, because I do collect Victorian photos, older photos. So that's you having acetates. That's very very cool to look at it that way.
Plus, even still, whenever if you strike out, get lucky, and you get somebody doing it for some sort of they're recording something from radio onto an acetate, that's even more historically valuable too.
Oh yeah, I think Colin, do you have a couple of one of those? I know you do.
Yes, in fact, I have one which I'd listened to the other day. The other side, it was like part of Ferryboat Serenade by some orchestra. I'm not sure who, to be honest. There was no vocals in it. It was kind of cut out a bit. There's some scratches on there. It doesn't play right. But the other side, it was like radio, like news broadcast about things happening. It was from like 1940. It talked about like a Greek offensive against the Italians and something that had happened there, and talked about President
Okay.
Roosevelt and his advisors.
That's something that you have to post.
Yeah, I'll definitely get around to
Yeah, I
it.
definitely want to hear that.
Unfortunately, it is a bit cut up, and I'll see if I can maybe do anything about that. But I have some things like that, and I have some other stuff where it's just like some songs and then a guy speaking in between. But that's like the most significant thing I think I found so far. And that one
Okay.
song I posted in the Discord for y'all to hear.
I mean, yeah, I got like 5 or 6 things like that. I got stuff about I got the halftime show of some MLB baseball game in, I think, Yankee Stadium or one of those other stadiums around 1952. Got several different partial broadcasts from the late 40s and early 50s in Washington, D.C. and such. But yeah.
Okay. You gonna
What
post
about you, Joe? What
Yeah.
do you have in the acetate world, if anything?
You mean like the home recordings people used to record from the
Home rec-
radio and home recordings, stuff like that?
Yeah, stuff like that.
Oh, I've come across a number of things over the years, some from radio broadcasts, music, but none of it is that I found is rare. Um, like I had some of Franklin Roosevelt, when World War II, when Pearl Harbor got bombed, things like that. But they were
Oh
all
yeah.
things that were
Mm.
already recorded and you can buy on an album or CD. There was nothing,
Oh
or
yeah.
the music was usually people copying 78s. They may have borrowed the records
Yep.
from a friend or something, and then they recorded it on acetate. So
Mm.
anything that I've had has just been nothing of interest, really, that you can't find anywhere else. Sadly.
Right. That's understandable.
Yeah, I got one of those sorts of thing where it's Les Paul and Mary Ford, 2 songs of 2 different 78s that never released as one, but paired onto one acetate. And it's really good.
Mhm. Mhm.
Just gonna look at the chat right now.
Man, all kinds of people are showing up now.
I know,
Different
and we're like literally almost an hour in too.
Even though only 3 people are watching.
Yeah. Running out to camp with Zaki. I'm tired. I'm trying to. All right, take care, Harry. Did I check out on Billie Holiday? I know who she is.
Great stuff. I don't know if I have anything by her personally, I'm afraid.
How's it going, Stacking Kid? I mean, I'm doing pretty good. I haven't heard from you in a while. And hi, Survivor, Rat Night. So, I wish I had an octate though. I don't have any, but I probably would some other time though.
The downsides about acetates, though, is they're a lot more delicate than regular 78s too, and I'm always extra careful with them.
Yeah, from what I've heard, yeah. I know my dealer. She has a couple of some that she'd be able to sell me. So I have to I have to see what she has and check them out. You love her, Robin? I do. I think I have one of her 78s. Do I? I think it's like in a. I have them. I have all my 78s in a crate. A milk crate that I got from work. So
Oh, great.
Chase, do you even know how to how to keep them protected? Because I'm moving soon.
I mean, apart from sleeves and all that, well, what I do is separate them in. I mean, okay, you have just one regular size milk crate.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say on both sides of where the 78s are, put some of that packing paper, maybe not. I mean, it can be bubble wrap, but I just have like the foam sheet paper thing. I put those stack them on both sides and some in the middle as well, and then just picked up the whole thing and then put them in the back seat of the car and just drove over, and they were fine. Just give them a ton of cushioning so they can move around and such like that without banging into each other and such.
Yeah, because it's not, and like I said, I don't have a lot in there, so they're not. It's not like the crate is not full,
Yeah.
so I have to somehow keep them steady. Because right now, what I keep them steady without them falling is I put two books nearly
I
I
was
grab.
just gonna, cause I was just going to suggest that. You should definitely do that then.
Yeah, right. Because that's basically what I'm doing.
Yeah, so put the books in there, then between the books and the 78s, make some room with the foam sheets or whatever else you're using, and then of course same thing on the other side. And if you feel like it, do a couple sheets between each individual one. But I think you got 75 or so by now.
Yeah, at least if you want to count the albums, I would say I would say at least I would say by 90 at this point, or you can even say almost 100. But it's still a small collection compared to y'all. But
Yeah, but at least you have room for it, unlike me.
you got them
I,
all over the
yeah.
place.
I mean, I have them in they take about a quarter size of my room since I moved. But honestly, over the last year, I haven't been posting too much because I've been really downsizing a lot of my record, trying to at least. So that goes for anybody here watching or anybody in this call. Sorry about the TV in the background, but if anybody is interested in anything on my channel, I'll be willing to entertain their offers or something. Or even if they just want them for free or something, I may take that up.
I'll link your channel down in the description below, Chase, and including you, Joe, and Colton. I'll put your channel
Okay.
down in the description below.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, Chase, I know you've got quite a bit of good stuff. You have a lot of stuff from the 30s that I would love to have things from that era, which I hardly find.
Well, I've been thinking of recently I've prepared a full on milk crate. Well, I'm preparing still, but of stuff that I'm pretty sure I am going to get away. Just I do not want it all, and I'll probably in the next couple of days, maybe a week from now, I'll do a live stream on my channel, and it'll just be just listening to all those records to see if anybody else wants them or otherwise, and if anybody else think they should keep them or whatever else. And
That sounds like a good idea.
basically taking Chris All My 78s UK, take that guy's his whole series, but do it live and pretend it's my own.
Right. That sounds like a good idea, Chase. I would like to do something like that. Let's see. I love her. Her voice is awesome. I mean, I like Billie Holiday. Like I said, I think I have one of her records. I'm not too sure, but it's back there. Silent movies are good. I like silent movies too. My favorite is God Bless the Child, which I think Yeah, I think I've heard of that one. Gotta go. I gotta go. Maybe. Okay, see a second, kid. It's the needles that ruins records more than anything I know of. What? Wait. What kind? Wait. What do you mean by that,
And who's saying that?
Robin?
Oh no! Please don't tell me he's one of those. Okay, I
You gotta
get
know
it.
what
I
you
get it. I get it. There's the whole
don't
two
think-
sides, but no, it's improper play that ruins them on phonographs, not
Oh, he means
not by
that.
default. I
He
mean,
means-
that's what I'm guessing that he's saying because I don't know what else.
Oh, because it's like because if that's so, then that's not really the case. It's mostly by is it like the ones of people who just play like later records and just don't even know that you have to play like if they play like a 78 from like the seven like not 70 from like the 50s or something like that,
Yeah, on like a 20s machine or
like a
something.
20s machine, yeah.
It really is. There really is just two sides to all this in the 78 communities. It's just either it's all with modern machines, or like either it's either play it on whatever you want, or play it only on modern machines because older machines, phonographs and such, absolutely destroy records.
Which is just
And I
which is
can't.
mess- I mean,
It's just the as far as I've been told, it's always been the audiophiles that have been saying
just
that, and it's
that's
mostly a
just saying
looks
that.
based thing.
Pretty much. I mean, you know, we I most of you guys have machines like that, so that's just really not really the case.
And you really, if
Well,
it
no,
was, if it really was such a dramatic problem for if you played them correctly, no, like if you played it correctly, like not as in playing it drastically differently than how they're designed and such for it.
and you
Then
always
if it really was such a problem back then there would have been something more said about it than just buy a new one.
yeah, and most of the time too, it's like people just don't replace the needles after every play, so that makes it even worse.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah,
I mean, famously, whenever Victor tried to do stuff with 33 RPM and otherwise long play records in the early 30s, the public outcry with that was so big that they had to just stop it. I mean, also apart from the whole stuff with the depression too, but people famously didn't like that, so they stopped.
they just didn't like. I've heard you talk about that. They didn't like the idea of long play records in the 30s, or
Well, no, they didn't like. I mean, they liked long play, but it was just the way that Victor was doing it and selling those machines to them that could play it. And like this is what I've heard from other collectors. Like I don't know if there's been if any of the discographers wrote books on this or anything. So correct me if I'm wrong, any of you. But it's just that's how it was, and plus with obviously of course with depression too. Even though
Right.
at this time, like at the very worst of the depression in 1932, they opened 3 dime store labels that same year. So.
Oh yeah, that is true. How old I am? I'm 21. So Robin's asking how old we are. So that's in the panel.
I'm 21 as well.
Yeah.
I'm 65, so I've got a little bit on you guys.
Oh wow. Okay.
No, I wouldn't have guessed that.
I wouldn't guess that either.
Oh,
Rob-
How long have you been collecting for, Joe?
Yeah,
I've
how long
I've
have
been
you-
wondering about that for a while.
oh.
Yeah.
I was picking up 78s at garage sales since I was in grade school, about 1966, 67 in there, I
Wow.
would guess.
Wow. You're one of the
So-
first generation guys.
Yeah.
Well, there were older ones than I. I was lucky enough to be invited to a record collectors group. Almost all of them are dead now. I was the youngest one. And they were collecting jazz records back in the 30s already.
Yeah, I've heard of that before.
Yeah, a friend of mine who's deceased He got a job right before the start of World War One at Decca Records in Milwaukee. And he and a friend also collected jazz records. They were in high school. And in those days, at the start of World War One, you couldn't get shellac because the Japanese captured the East Indies. So if you wanted to get a new record, you were supposed to bring in an old record to reprocess.
And what
And
label did you say?
that was Decca.
Decca. Decca wasn't around in World War One.
Yeah, I don't know what
No,
you mean
World
by
War
that.
Two. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
I was about to say too. Yeah.
Also, welcome
yeah.
to the
Or
chat,
World
Greg.
War Two. And so they used to pick through and take all the jazz records home.
Yeah, the shellac shortages.
Yeah, yeah. So those guys were collecting back then, and they were in high school. They already realized, they had an interest in the music and there was something about it that should be saved. So that's
Yeah.
really the first thing.
I've heard of that. Like, I've heard, like, what's his name? Who's that guy who's really into, like, all the blues stuff these days? Tef Teller. Tef Teller has said on podcasts and such before about how people were doing stuff with Paramount back in, like, the early 40s. And then there was also, what else? There was also Downbeat. They had their own dedicated columns just for record collectors, going back to the earliest I've seen is like what 1937. So yeah, it was just. But whenever I say first generation, I'm talking about first generation after the format has already been
Just done.
deceased.
Oh, I
Deceased. Yeah.
understand. Mhm.
Wow. Honestly, I didn't expect that. Yeah.
We've been trying to do stuff like these calls here with collectors about your age and older for about 3-4 years now, but we've never been able to figure out how to explain it to them. So it really is. We want to bring together the whole technological age gap between all the collectors, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can. Boy, and like I said, all of the record collectors I've known are pretty much dead. The older ones, sadly. I'll ask around, see if I can get anybody who collect records. Well, I know one right now. I could maybe get him to join, and he restores silent movies and things like that too.
Oh wow.
So I'll ask him at least and kind of spread the word.
I mean, yeah, and that's pretty much what we're trying to do. People have more experience about these things. Would be great for us. Of the younger generations that we that collects shellac records. So.
Well, it might be kind
Oh,
of
hey,
nice
Greg's
to-
finally here.
Yeah, finally.
Hey, Greg, come on, get yourself in here. Come on, get in. Come on, get in
here.
Get in. Get in.
I got more. I got more. I got more room in here. Like, 'cause I think you can put like 12 people in here. It's kind of
Yeah,
crazy.
you get a lot.
Yeah. So, Greg, we have room for you.
The link is pinned.
There is
At the
always
top,
room
go
for
get it.
Greg.
Yeah, it's pinned, so you can't miss it. Okay, I love that you guys are more into this stuff. I'm happy that I'm into it. Just wish you had
Excuses, Greg.
Just wish you had the records from youth. You can just go and look and see what they got. It's just not really really that difficult. Do you have?
Really is all about location, though.
It's really
Unfortunately,
about location, yeah, because I have to order stuff on eBay just to buy a common red Columbia. So it's like, so it depends where you're at, Robin, though. But just check anyway to see. Greg, stop. Just stop. You can get in.
Yeah, stop making your excuses.
come on, Greg, get in here. We both
Making
know. We've
excuses.
both seen you on your phone in these streams before. Come on.
Yeah. What happened,
Even
Joe?
I
You
am
were
here
gonna
this
say something?
time.
So,
Stand by, guys.
okay.
Well, what area of the country do you live in that it's so hard to find
I,
78s?
I live in New Jersey, so
Uh,
I live not the southern part where Camden is. I live up in the North Jersey. So, like I said, I don't live too far, where Staten Island is. So I'm
all right.
literally on the tip. So like, I'm in Bayonne for exact.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna give up my location because basically I'm gonna explain the history of my town anyway. Um, so it's I don't know why, but it's hard to find 78s here. We only had we have a pawn shop, but that's basically they just sell junk, but they will have 78s here and there. And we have a couple thrift stores, but nothing really in there when it comes to like 78s. There's the only farthest I can go is Staten Island. So, but that's a long walk. And so they do have some 78s and I did pick up a couple.
Well, the reason I said that, I just assumed that, that was the New York area was the center of recording in the U.S. and so many were made there. It would just, it seems to living in the Midwest, I would think on the East Coast you'd be tripping over records
Oh yeah.
wherever you go.
You would think we would have some at least in this town, but it's just none. Like
Mhm.
I don't even know. I don't know if people have them, but they just don't want to sell them. So it's like
Mhm.
All right, I'm back.
I can't find them.
Yeah, in the Midwest, if you want Edison discs, you literally can trip over them here. They're very, very common.
Oh
Things
yeah,
like that.
Edison this there, huh?
Yes,
I've
thank
heard
you,
of
Greg.
people using them as weapons for self-defense.
Well, you could. You
Really?
could.
Yep. Yeah.
That is interesting. Um, what excuse he's saying now? Oh no, this has nothing to do with
Come on, Greg. Just get in here, man.
This has
Get in
everything.
here.
Come on, Greg.
You can
We're
let people.
literally.
You can let people. We all stomp on each other conversationally all the time. What are you talking about? This ain't any different.
It's not. This is not different. I don't know what he's on about. Not myself. And this is just a regular stream. There's just nothing. We're just talking about 78s right now.
As we
Love,
always do.
love how Colton's there. Well, yeah. I mean, this is your first time, right? In my
Yeah,
stream.
it's the first time I've been in a stream. I haven't. I've never actually even used StreamYard before. I had a couple like way back when a few years ago, when I was doing coin stuff. I had done a couple things, but this is like an actual legitimate thing with Streamlabs and whatnot.
Right. So you so. Uh,
Yeah, you get the text in that, Greg, but it's different because you have a chance to talk voice to voice with someone of status.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like.
I'm not saying that we're fanboying you or anything, Joe, but it's a rare, really rare opportunity to be able to get on live with some with another collector such as yourself here.
Yeah, especially on your age too. If someone has more experience with these things.
Well, you can't see it, but you're making me blush.
Yeah, I remember you saying that once.
Yeah, I think you could. Yeah, I think you could find them. What do you think, Ohio Chase? I think you could find them. I mean, Hayden's there.
Yeah, that'd be Hayden. That'd be Hayden's territory. But from what I hear, it's like okay, he's over around the Elmore-ish area. That's like near. I think that's somewhere between Akron and Cincinnati, and somewhere in that area. But he has one of the guys who actually worked at VDisc in the 40s, who runs a who runs a record and otherwise antique store there. So
Okay.
that's where he gets most of the collection. This kid has like 5,000 now, and he's downgrading.
Oh wow! Honestly, I didn't know he had that much.
Yeah, I mean, in places like that, 78. I mean, just in general as well, 78 can really just go for like dirt cheap, even if they're really good stuff too.
Yeah, that's why I do like them for locally, but like I said a bunch of times, it's scorched earth for this stuff. Unless if I go to New York City, but I have to take the train to get there, and I have to go to Manhattan too, which is going to be a nuance, and just to look for them. So it's
I've heard there's some really great stores in there, but man, if I ever get up to Manhattan, it's gonna be a day with you, with you, Troy. We're gonna go all over there, go to like the Ritz Carlton, go to the Park Central, all the different places from the big band era and otherwise of the '78 era that's still up. And
right. That's still up. Oh yeah, I mean, if you come here, I'll definitely take you to New York. But yeah, and just see what's from the '70s era. Oh hey, Warnickel.
Yes, hello.
Warnickel just stopped by. If you want to come in here, War too, as well. We're talking about '78. For some reason, Greg is just kind of refusing to come in.
He's pulling a Greg, yeah.
Yeah, I think you
Greg
have your
moment.
conversations. It is a Greg moment. There's nothing wrong with that, Greg. It's just that when you I don't think this is something that I don't think you realize.
No, come on. Let's not. Let's give it a break. Let's give it a
Alright.
rest.
All right, I'm gonna give it a rest. Okay,
He ain't coming in, I guess.
he's not coming in. Let's just take that.
If he really wanted to, he would be here by now.
Right now, War, yes, it's just 78.
Sometimes he like to do that little bit though, but
Yeah. All right. I'll stop.
I mean we can talk about anything else, War, if you want, but
Yeah, if you want to change the subject, we can talk about literally anything.
I mean, granted, I don't know anything about currency though, so
Right.
Greg, I think
How?
you make you.
tenderly, Greg.
How,
Come
Greg?
on. Come on. Come on. Come on.
You know. Like I don't know why you just said that.
I'm excited to get through some more of these records here. Eventually, it's going to be quite a while. Try and see which of these are, if I have some good stuff from the 30s. I know I've seen a few perfect ones. And I've looked up some like I've seen from the 30s.
Somebody say perfect.
Yeah, Colton.
Yes, I've got a decent number of them now, and I've seen some from the 30s. And I have some of the black and some of the brown shellackers or whatever people call them.
Oh, you got the bold prints, or you have those the melatonin like ones.
Greg, I pinned it.
Hey, it's all the way up in the chat. It's
all the
all
way up
at
in
the
the
very
chat.
top of the chat.
And I'm not sure, Chase. I don't know a whole great deal about it because I haven't had a whole lot of labels like this for the most part up until recently. Now I've got like a ton of stuff from like Harmony and what are some of the other ones? Banner, Cameo. I've got a ton of that stuff now, so I hardly know anything about those labels because I had like maybe one of those before, if that, you know. So,
I know, you know me, man. I'm the ARC guy around these parts.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he knows a lot.
I'm interested in some of the ARC stuff I've got because I know I've got a couple of like late Romeos after they changed like that weird catalog system.
Yeah, that thing. It's weird, but it's probably the best one. And I think it's probably the best way to date them that they ever created
It is
in
really
the
nice.
entire
It's
78
easy.
in the entire 78 industry. It's unnecessarily easy and good. I don't know why nobody else picked up on that, or why Columbia didn't keep that whenever Columbia or Decca didn't keep that whenever their assets got sold to both of them.
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
here it is. Here's Greg.
Man,
Yeah,
Well, since
Greg.
everyone was screaming, "Oh, Greg, come on, Greg, come in, Greg." Okay, I hate to disappoint the fans.
Yeah, I mean,
Quite literally, the fans. Yes.
your fans, yeah.
And and Mr. Joe Marks, this is my first time ever meeting you. I've heard, well, I shouldn't say a fair amount about you, but I have heard of you before. You do come up in conversations. Let me just tell you that.
I'm surprised. Have any of you guys, if you tried to upload anything lately to YouTube, they now seem to do a copyright check even before.
Oh no, that whole thing, you're fine. That's the whole the whole copyright. It'll say copyright claimed for whatever you put up. Is that what you're
Oh, yeah,
referring to?
you're fine. Oh yeah, you're fine. Yeah, you're
But
fine.
even it won't. It seems like it won't even allow you to finish your upload before it checks the copyright. Because I've tried to upload things lately, and it seems like 10 minutes of copyright check before they'll accept it. And then if there's a problem, then they give you the option of deleting the image or the sound. Well, the point of it
Okay.
uploading it is the sound.
Okay, let me explain that to you. So what that is so YouTube works under it works under for stuff that has to do with copyrights at all. It works under fair use and safety harbor. Both of those things, like they came out of the 90s and 2000s, which allow YouTube to even exist as a platform. And what it is so it protects us. So like if there's something like what we're doing, what all of our channels are with the 78s, we're basically doing what we're doing. Obviously, we're not doing something illegal, but we're doing something that is somewhat like on the border of it's in one of those morally, not morally, but legally gray areas where they don't know what to do really. So they've created fair use. So it's like we can't get in trouble for putting this stuff up online, really. And so because of that, there's the whole thing with copyright strikes and copyright claims here on YouTube.
Right.
Strikes are the bad ones. Those are the ones where it's like you've done something that we the system think is really bad, so we're going to remove this video of yours. You don't have a say in it, and we're going to put one strike out of 3 against your channel. If you get 3 of them, you're done. We delete your channel. Now, those strikes, they go away over time, but that's a whole different thing. What you're getting is the same thing that we get, which is the copyright claim, which essentially means that, hey, we recognize this is in the video, so you cannot monetize, which means you cannot make money off of this video.
Right.
Obviously, we don't want money from this anyways.
It would be cool though.
It would be cool, but yeah, I mean, granted, that system hasn't updated with the whole public domain thing that happened earlier this year, where everything from before 1923, but you can fight those just fine. But a lot of these are even are made by companies. A lot of these claims are given by companies that are that have license to use this, but they do not own it themselves. So
Yeah.
you can get away with fighting that stuff too, for like whenever you get a video blocked. But at the end of the day, what this really is it's just a system that makes sure that everything is in check and that you're not like uploading like a full movie or something pirated onto YouTube. So
Right,
that's what it does. And really a lot of people misunderstand that and think, oh shoot, I won't be able to upload 78s because I may be breaking some sort of law. But no, it's just you are perfectly fine, just like the rest of us. There's no real problem. It's the whole thing, regardless of whether it checks it after you've uploaded it or before you uploaded it. All it's doing is just checking the systems and trying to figure out what is the audio and sounds and such and video that it's seeing.
Yeah. So that's basically, yeah.
You understand this?
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I know. I used to get very worried about it myself, and that's indirectly how I even started, doing 78s at all on YouTube, because I was like, well, great. I keep on getting these stupid claim things here. So my channel hasn't been active forever. I'm just going to let it rot and just put up 78s until it decides to delete my channel. But of course that never happened. And I got I got a following off of it too. So yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Then I met all you fine folk too, of course.
Right, yeah.
And it doesn't also copyright everything too. It kind of just depends on what has been given. Because like that last Bluebird I uploaded, one side of it got copyright claimed, but the other didn't. But even though they're both still under copyright protection, so
yeah, there's a very well defined limit to what it even recognizes too. It only recognizes what different companies, music companies, video companies put into it. So if they forget about something other, like I'd say about 15% of everything in the North American 78 industry that was ever made, about 15 to 20% of that has not reached the systems here at all. If even more than that, maybe.
Yeah, yeah, that too. I mean, now honestly, now I forgot my train of thought.
That's me every day, Troy. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I was literally about to say something, and then it just went away. It just went away. So, War's just saying a lot of things over here. Also, Greg, you got a big fan, which is War Nickel.
A big fan.
Yeah. War
And big
Nickel.
enough to be your ceiling fan.
Since when is War Nickel a fan of me?
Well, he says he's a super fan of you. So
What?
since when is anyone not a fan of you?
I
There
don't
you
I
go.
don't know.
You're the life of the party.
You guys. Oh, you guys. That's all I have to say.
come on, I'm a big
Yeah,
fan
he
of
is.
Greg.
Joe, where's your, you know how you have on your channel, you got that picture of Rudy Valley on your YouTube profile picture. Where did that come from? What magazine is that out of? I've always wanted to know where that's from. I should have just commented, but you're here now.
That was in an old box of 78s I bought at a farm auction. It is like maybe a giveaway at a store. It's just a little leaf, a little piece of paper. That's all it is.
So that's got to be like 1 in 100 left in existence, probably.
I think I know exactly what that is then. I remember coming across Radio Guide magazine in like 1931. They came up with that as an ad. They had like 100 or so radio artists and stuff in it. They'd send a piece of paper, like sort of sketch, sort of inked picture of someone, and sometimes they'd have the actual signature of the artist in particular too. And they'd send them out by mail, and sometimes I think also with deals with different labels as well. And in which case that was probably Columbia, not Columbia, Victor that in specifically there. Am I right?
The only thing I've seen maybe like that, if any of you have come across the ARC record sleeves from the early to mid 30s that had a cellophane sleeve on the back, and it would hold a little photograph of a movie star or a recording star.
Huh.
Have you ever come across those?
I haven't. All that I'm thinking of right. Oh, are you talking about like how like on the Perfect sleeves how they'll have little diagraphical like caricatures of different people that was on the label?
No, it was an actual little cellophane sleeve, and when you buy the record, that was glued onto the back of the record jacket. Because I've come across some that have just the cellophane sleeve glued to the back and no picture in it, and I've come across a couple that had nobody bothered to open the sleeve with the photograph. I'll have to see if I can dig some of those out. But yeah, that must have been a promotion they did. And somewhere I saw on the internet somewhere or where did you see? Anyway, they had a list of all the different stars that they issued to put in those little cellophane sleeves. It was like a I guess a tobacco, a cigarette pack, sportsman
Yes.
card, things
So
like
it's
that.
almost like baseball cards.
Right, exactly.
Like cigarette? You mean like cigarette cards?
They were
Yeah.
like that, only they were a photograph of a movie star. I know the actors Wheeler and Woolsey were one of them. Alice Faye,
Oh yeah, I think I've seen that Alice
that
Faye
kind of
one.
stuff.
All I'm thinking of like with this image is something. All I can think of that's like that is the hit of the week. Sometimes will have
Oh yeah.
pictures on the back,
Oh yeah.
but I can't think of anything like that. I would love to see a picture of that sometime.
Well, I don't know where they are, but I'll see. I'll try to find one, and I'll send you a picture of it, either of the picture or the cellophane sleeve. Yeah, I don't know where those are right now, but if I
I can
can,
just see you. I can just see you right now climbing up like a whole like librarian ladder for like your 18-foot high bookshelves worth of 78s right now. Why you have what like 20,000 by this point?
well, they're not stacked that high. It's ironic. I have a master's degree in library science, and I'm the most disorganized person that that exists. So they're somewhere if I can find them. Well, you know how you get so busy with a certain thing, and then you're going to put it back where you got it, but you don't get to it right now, and then it adds
Hmm.
up and adds up
Mhm.
and adds up. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I most of my record collection is really disorganized too. Everything's just mixed up together. But I will separate them by country and category and stuff like that. So
Can I change the subject just for a second, Troy? Have you gotten any
Absolutely.
more of those packets of mixed photographs you used to get and go through them?
I can't hear you.
You used to get these packs of mixed photographs,
Hmm.
and then you'd go through them. Have you done that lately?
The ones that you see that I post them on the
Yeah,
channel
yeah,
of my
hmm,
grandpa's photographs.
yeah.
I've scanned his photographs when he went to in Colombia in '72, but I've done like half of that. So I will finish it soon. Right now I don't have the time though.
Troy, I think he's talking about back like way before that, back whenever you used to have when you would get like from thrift stores or antique stores like pictures of just completely unknown to you people, and you'd put them up
Oh,
on
like the
Instagram and
cabinet
such.
cards and such.
Yeah, like stuff like that.
Oh,
Yeah,
um,
that's what I was talking about.
oh, okay, that I haven't did that in a while. No, I haven't purchased any photographs. The latest thing I've purchased was the and I streamed it where I was going through it. Um, a bunch of pictures from like the 1910s to I'm guessing the early 70s. And they're all black and white pictures. So I haven't got any new ones recently. You collect them, Joe?
I have plenty from my family. A lot of old pictures, so I don't buy them unless I know who they are.
Right,
But
right,
that's
right.
Same here.
that's an interesting thing to do, though. I've never thought about that, but that's interesting that you do that.
Yeah, because I view it as like because like I said, my grandfather was a photographer. You must have seen his pictures, and looking at like photos at that time, back then, to me, they're just a big window of the past. Like I see it as like a very big window of the past. So that's why I purchased a lot of like photos from like the 1860s, 70s, even like later 20th century ones. And I just find them much interesting because it was one big giant window of the past that I can able to see on.
You know, that's actually a really good way to learn the fashion of the time.
Yeah,
Like that goes for hairstyles and everything. Just look at old pictures. I mean,
yeah. That's why I want. That's why I want to wear a suit all the time. And you know that, Greg, as I always say. I'm not wearing one right now because my dress shirt is literally it's literally on the in the washing machine. So
Yeah, I just like in like the last week. I know you three know about it, but I'll explain it once more. I'll explain it more for Joe here. But in like the last week or so, I had to go to a house for my mom was getting stuff from there. It was a friend of hers and formerly a friend of mine who like their mother buys and sells houses, like flips them and such like that. And this one was from this old lady who was like, she was like really into Scientology and other stuff like that. Had like about 1 billion books about like other things like that. And she just had this house here, like with tons of that stuff. And I had to go and I got to go and with my mom and see if there was anything worth taking out of there. And really, it was just a bunch of junk like CDs for installing Windows 97 or books or VHS tapes or other things like that of that just you really can't do anything with unless you're a diehard fan of that stuff.
I was gonna say,
And
Dave, you better watch out because the RetroTech Discord server might hunt you down if you install Windows 98.
oh, they can bite me. Those people, I have no interest in association with them. I can nearly not stand them because it's like, yeah, it's like all the guys with the it's like the guys with like who like Beatles, like that's the peak of records right there.
oh my
Like they're all like hit people from like they're 25-year-old guys and such like that. Nah. But anyways, apart from weird things I found there today, my mom went back there again and she found and brought back just a bunch of old photos that she had. And literally, she was the only person left on that family line. Nobody had taken anything, so it's really up for grabs. And I know, we both know we wouldn't want that to just get shoved in the trash. So I found today like 50 or so photos of her family going back to, some of them date 1923 and some of them are older, of just family portraits of just different people in their family and things like that. It is very interesting seeing those.
Yeah, and like when I interviewed Sarah about it, and always when I talked to her about it, she was even planning. She researches them. I'm not sure if you guys look at her Instagram, but she researches them of who the people are, and then tells the story of what those people are, and then from what I've heard, she gives back she gives them back to the family, whoever owns it. So.
Probably like 2% of the people she talks to, because I bet most of them are like, "Oh, okay, cool. No, you can keep it."
Yeah, I bet. I bet, but I think it's like at least not like at that number, but I would say at least 5%, at least from what she's telling me. But yeah, because like literally, she found pictures of people who passed away. Like let's say a woman from like the 40s, but she passed away, and I don't know, in 2017, and then she just found in an antique shop, and then she wants to give them back. She gave them back, like let's say like at least 5% of the people who ever gave it back. But yeah, I would say you're right on that, Greg, too.
That's incredibly noble to do that.
I can't see it of how people do that, and honestly, it kind of bothers me too a little bit, because it's like I've seen like the stuff that she posts, like some of the stuff I post is so recent. It's like I don't know, like the people are alive, like she like the most recent stuff at least she posts of like people like in the 80s and stuff like that, even 70s ones, and like these people are kids still alive, and it's like how do people just get rid of such a thing? I honestly just, at the same time, I like the hobby, but at the same time, I don't like the hobby because I do think the negative side of things, like how could people just throw out their family photos like that?
And then too, it's like for what she gives back, like what she gives back to them is like, okay, these people have given this away to antique stores or otherwise. Now this person has just now given it back to them. She's going to say that they're not going to now just say, oh, well, great, and then just throw it in the trash.
Just throwing the trash. Yeah.
I mean, that is really sad, but that's their decision to make.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing really you could do. You know what I mean? And it's just it's very sad that you have very lost memories, and hopefully when every time when I do look at these photos, it's like, yeah, hopefully my most of the family pictures that I have that I'm preserving, I really hope it does gets passed through, and at least that's what that if I ever do have a family, that's one of my goals is to preserve our history.
Yeah, a few years ago, my grandma, she had a whole bunch of like these slides of. I'm not sure when they're from. I guess like I don't know. I would say the 70s, but I have no idea. Even when. I don't know a whole lot about that. And they weren't like of her and her kids, and my mom and her sisters, whatever. It was someone, I think like one of her brothers, or maybe her my grandpa's one of his brothers or something, but they weren't people that we like knew personally, like very closely. So she just threw them out, and so people could just do that because they don't care.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
My dad ended up doing the same thing to some of my grandma's pictures. We ended up getting her photograph collection, which went back. I was able to date the earliest picture from 1931, and the most recent picture was from 2017. And
My
there
fam-
was a lot.
family-
Some of that stuff got thrown out because we didn't know who they were.
My family on my mom's side did the same thing for not just pictures, but as well as typewritten like stuff that my grandpa used to say. Like in the 50s, 60s, 70s, he wrote a ton, like just notes or other experiences by typewriter and otherwise. And it's very fascinating reading through that stuff. So I was glad I was able to save like a whole box of all that stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to see it. Yeah, so I still post the pictures on Insta, so if you want to see them, that's what I do. But I barely post them here, unless if I take a picture of them all and put them in the one video. But that's gonna take a long time.
What about you, Joe? Since you brought it up, I mean.
Yeah.
Well, sort of an attitude I think of older people have, and this is just one example, is an elderly friend of mine who died about 20 years ago. I used to see all the time. She was an antique dealer, so I went to a lot of auctions with her, and that's where I got a lot of my records at those auctions. Anyway, I would go to her house, and she would say, well, I just threw out a bunch of pictures again today. And I'd say, what?
What?
And she said, yeah, nobody knows who they are. Why should I keep them? And that was her attitude, is like, most of those people are dead, or I suppose if you'd spend an entire lifetime trying to identify these pictures and then find out who exists of that family that may want a copy of it, So, she was probably one of the millions of older people who just throw those things away thinking nobody else cares.
Right.
So,
But
not that that's good. That's,
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah,
anyway.
and there's people that would, I mean, that's how I got into the photograph community. Do people actually take lost pictures and post them online and let them out of let them know of these people exist at one point and stuff like that. So and Sarah, she's one of the people that got me into it. So
Really, for me, it's for anything, honestly. Like, anything that would be valuable to some people, like, informationally. Like, just a couple months ago, as you all know, I had a ton of. I had to clean out some place of my mom's, their art loft, and in there, the person wanted me to throw out a ton of magazines that are like trade magazines, going from like the 80s on down to the 50s of just tons and tons for knitting and stuff like that, knitting, quilting, throws, all that sort of stuff. And I was looking through there, it's like, okay, there's no way I'm gonna let them do that. So I ended up taking home like a stack of them, and I had them right beside me here. And really, what I'm doing right now is slowly I'm trying to put them up on archive.org, and I've already gotten one of them up there now.
that's actually good,
Yeah.
Chase, that you actually thought of that. And I know a teacher when I was working with the magazines. I was a big National Geographic fan, so I used to read a lot of National Geographics, and I know one guy. He was one of my teachers, and he had like a whole box of like old National Geographics from like the 50s all the way, I would say probably the 90s, early 2000s, and I've read them all. And he said that, well, we were moving out. He told me we were moving out. We're about to throw out the books because we didn't know what to do with them and stuff like that. So he just decided to give them to me. And I always say this, and I say this to everyone: if you're not interested on something, there's a lot of people that's going to be into of that particular thing, even though you think it's not interesting, but somebody else would think it's interesting.
And like, there's always different places to give it away. You don't have to go the nuclear option and throw it away.
Exactly. When am I moving out of my grandpa's house? At the 17th. That's where I'm moving out, War. Oh, Greg's
And
whining.
Greg's just whining his West Clock clocks. Hey,
You
this
know,
guy
it
is
it
really
is
into
wind-up
West
time.
Clock.
It's wind up time. I'm not even kidding. You guys guessed that down to a T. It's clock winding time.
So what? You're gonna wind up all the clocks in your collection?
Why,
All
are
the
you
ones
out
that
by
I've
your
serviced.
stairwell right now just doing
Yeah,
that?
just wind them all up.
You are all in the stairwell right now. The clocks are being wound. You guys are really good guessers.
I guess is like a fairly standard ritual for you, though.
Well, I mean, they all run for 30 hours. And Joe, just so you know, we're talking about things that people don't care about or whatever. I'm a big collector. I don't know if you've ever heard of the brand West Clock before.
Oh, yes, I have. Do you have one of those huge Big Bens with the bells on the top and there's alarm clocks?
I can actually I've got a whole bunch of Big Bens here, actually. I repair them, and I actually use them, and I plan very soon to start selling some of this stuff, like buying and reselling it after it's been fixed up.
Nice.
So, I am a clock and dollar pocket watch collector. West Clock is my brand that I usually go for.
Can you
And
get parts for those anymore?
Oh yeah. Well, what happens is like West Clock, they made a whole bunch of money selling their own parts catalogs and all every part of the clock you could probably buy. That goes for the mechanical ones. The electric ones are hard to find parts for, but yeah, you can get even if you don't find original new old stock parts that were sold separately, you can just buy a parts clock and just pick pieces out of it and just use it for something else.
Sorry about that, Troy. I accidentally left the thing.
Ah, it's fine.
I've never done this before, so I clicked a button and it left me out of there.
Say, Greg, I have a question for you.
Yes, do tell.
Yeah, I noticed on your channel you have quite a few records that look like they were pressed in Canada.
I am in Canada.
Oh, you are? Okay. Well, that makes sense. Because I've noticed I'm sorry.
All the clocks and all that stuff. This is all coming out of Canada because I'm located there.
Oh. Well, I've noticed it seems like the ARC pressings in Canada from the 30s are much better shellac-wise than the American pressings.
I mean, at least you guys have ARC. We don't really. All we seem to have gotten is Melatonin, and I've only been able
A
to
perfect
find
sleeve.
one perfect sleeve from about 1938, and that's no, I think it's no, it is that one.
37, maybe early 38.
Yeah,
It was
it's-
out by April.
that's all I've been able to find ARC wise. It's either Melatonin Deca, you know what? I'll just have to show you what I'm talking about. There's Melatonin 78s here that have been pressed by Deca. It's the weirdest thing.
Oh,
Just like how Panacord, yeah, that makes sense.
So
I've been unable to wrap my mind around it. Even I got Rust books that explain it to me, but I still can't understand it really of why and how that's possible.
I think Apex also pressed some of Deca's stuff as well in over here.
Well, all I know really is like for ARC, okay, we had 1776 Broadway, which was like headquarters and also, recording studio. Then you have the Brunswick recording studio that they worked out of, and then also everything was pressed. Basically, everything over here was pressed out of Scranton Button. So we have that, but I don't know where else it would be pressing for Canada. Maybe in where is it? Not Toronto, but further to the right.
Well, there would have
Ottawa?
definitely
Ottawa?
been labels in Toronto.
I think that would be Ottawa. Or maybe Joe, you may know this better than me. I'm not too great with locations for all that stuff.
well, I'm not good with that either. It's just that I probably have 6 Melatones that are Canadian, and I have the U.S. equivalents, and the U.S. ones seem, even in great shape, much grainier than the Canadian ones. So I assumed they were pressed in Canada.
Either me or just melatonin in general likes to melatonin stuff like even the earlier ones from like 1930, 1931 onwards. Just the vocals are like the first thing to get so incredibly distorted.
Mhm.
Like it's I don't know.
It seems to me that the earliest Melatones were really, the high ends are really clear, and then about after the first 6 months or so, then they got muddier. They just, or the first year, the Melatones, just the sound wasn't as good. Or they have a more Brunswick sound, you know. Brunswick seemed to have some problems in the early 30s with the sound. I don't know if you'd say it's compressed.
I've noticed
There's
that.
not much bass, and the highs aren't very good. That's the way it seems.
I'll look it up in Rust right now while we're talking about it. Let's see if he has the answer.
Maybe Greg is from the U.S. I don't know.
Mass conspiracy time.
Yeah, he gets very defensive if we call him American.
Joe,
Yeah.
I appreciate you watching my channel. Thank you.
Good stuff.
And also, since you've been watching it, obviously you've noticed there's a lot of 50s, like late 50s, 78s on there. That's not. Well, I do love the late 50s, 78s, but I do plan on uploading a lot earlier stuff. Hopefully very soon when my Graphanola is feeling well again.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Any Sam Lannon you have, please post it.
Will do. I think I believe I have at least 2 records of his here. I've got Vincent Lopez.
Oh, great band.
So Sam Lannon, your guy then?
I'm sorry, what's that?
So Sam Lennon's your favorite band then?
Well, I think of all the American bands, the contract bands like Blue Gold and Fred Vidge and stuff. To me, Sam Lannon seems to be consistently so much more professionally played, or something. The arrangements are just so good in general. And then with the Lou Golds, if you notice the B sides of a lot of the Lou Gold records, the composers are Gold and Sumner or Gold and Reynolds, and those are really B-side songs. They're really not very good, in my opinion.
I'd heard something about that back when I was researching Clarion, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, Lou Gold gets composer credit on the B-side on a lot of the Clarions, or Fred Hall and Arthur Fields. They teamed up a lot on Clarion and Harmony. Those things. And usually their songs are pretty bad too, in my opinion.
You know, I mean, I do like Sam Lennon a lot, but then there's also times
Oh,
where,
war.
especially on like Perfect or somewhere else, that it just becomes I can't even get through a full record sometimes. There's some real duds in there that he made too.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Also,
I
hello,
suppose if
War.
it's
Oh yeah, War just joined.
Hello.
What's cooking, War?
Do you say what's cooking?
You bet. I do that to my coworkers. I do that to you.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I've actually been going through a lot of 78s recently. I don't know what you guys were just talking about just now because I had to move out to my car, but
By any chance?
Yeah,
did you
I'd
find
seen
Sam
those.
Lennon?
wait, what?
By any chance, did you find any Sam Lennon 78s?
No.
Shoot.
that I'm disappointed.
Well, Greg, how about you get them?
How do I get 78s?
Now, how about you go and get them?
Well, I have to find them.
Yeah,
here.
get War 78. Just steal them from him.
Just go to his house.
Yeah, there you go.
Just commit a felony and just exactly.
Steal his phonograph while at it.
Intelligent people only.
Yeah, steal his phonograph and give it to Troy.
Yeah, there you go.
Play hot potato with the phonograph.
Just recently I was at a thrift store and I got the Charleston medley.
By
Sounds
which
nice.
band?
By who?
Which band? By who?
I think Arthur Gibbons.
That's a new name to me.
Anyone heard? Okay, okay. I'm not alone.
Oh wait, wasn't that the one who did that on Tempo in like 1948?
No,
Or
it's
what's the
from-
label?
Like
It's from the
Dixieland?
20s.
What's the label
it's a-
war?
It's a Victor.
Or is it Arthur Gibbs?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's different.
Oh, okay.
I'm kind of tired. I can't remember everything.
Fair enough, War.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
had
I'm
2
gonna
hours of
run
sleep last
the
night.
stream for I would say for like, a couple more minutes and then we can just shut it down.
By the way, is this going to be archived?
Yes.
Good.
Hmm. Yeah. So, because it's a good stream, I did enjoy it.
This will be my first as well.
And it's Colton's. It's literally his first time here. So
And apparently, wait, has Joe Marks been on the stream before? I don't think so.
no, it's the first time.
No, I never have. No.
You guys are the headliners.
You know what would be funny? It would be hard to set up, but each of us could be by a turntable and take turns playing a record, during the stream.
Oh yeah.
Challenge accepted.
Actually, that's
I
one
have
of my
literal
plans.
houses.
That
I
is
could
one of my
definitely-
plans. I'm gonna do that one of these days.
Yeah, pick a record. Pick 2 records. We'll just go around and around, and any record, have some laughs.
Right.
I mean, I did that back in 2020 when pandemic started. One of the phonograph groups on Facebook, Michael Kumila, ended up getting everybody into a Zoom call, and we just did that. We just talked records until we got Zoom bombed by some people that were very miserable.
Don't let them ruin your party.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't, but so far we have not done it once since. But hey, we should. Oh, I don't know if how much you are willing to adjust to things or not, but I figure I'll give it a try. Have you, maybe some point we could, if I could get your email or something, we could go. I could send you. There's a site that we all talk through, and we get into, and that's how we've all known each other and talked to each other forever on. It's called Discord. And it's very easy to use just for things like this, as well as talking over chat or otherwise too. It's very convenient. If you'd want to get on that app, and we could all talk to each other on there and have more things like this without having to go on YouTube.
There you go. Yeah.
That'd be fine with me.
It's much easier to contact people that we, like for you, Joe. I think you'll be good in there too. In
I
Discord.
can always learn.
And also,
Wait.
I'm going to be interviewing a Cambodian 78er soon in this channel.
Cambodian 78er.
Oh, did
Yeah.
he respond to your email?
He did, actually. He
That's
will be happy to do it.
That's good. Great.
So I'm gonna have him in here, and we're gonna talk about Cambodian 78s. I mean, I would like to know, because I just don't know too much. I don't know anything about their industry, so I wanna know why he collected 78s and how he got into them and stuff like that. And I found this guy pretty interesting.
Yeah, that sounds very interesting.
Yeah. So
Hey Joe,
Right.
inside of this whole StreamYards application we have going here, apart from the comments section button, you can check the button right over here near the top of the screen that's for private chat, and
Yeah.
that's only chat that we can see here, like the six of us in here.
yeah.
You can go ahead and type your email in there, and then I'm gonna set up correspondence with mine and such on there. Get you filled in with all that if you'd like.
Yeah, I'll do that right now.
All right, cool beans.
So Greg, Chase, I hope you will be there when they do the interview. And
I'll
you,
definitely be in the chat at different points.
yeah, you
Troy,
have the Greg?
you're gonna be the 78, like the global 78 man. You're gonna know about every country's 78 industry here right away.
Probably. I mean, I feel like I'm pretty much like one of the few guys that at least I know about a good large Japanese 78, so why not others?
Yeah, Troy, you just like learn Spanish and then go to like Bolivia and find out about their 78 industry.
Learning entire language just for 78s. Now that is dedication.
Honestly, I'm learning Japanese by a friend of mine, so
Hey.
so I'm learning. So it's such a hard language to like, because it's like because I told you that Japanese has 3 alphabets, and you have to use those all of those 3 alphabets to make one complete sentence. So that's
Sounds like a blast.
what happened. Yeah, it's extremely hard. And a friend of mine, she's teaching me, so she knows the 2 alphabets. It's just that the most difficult one is just kanji. Kanji is extremely hard. So, but right now the only thing I can read in Japanese is literally the emperors. So like, you know how like the Japanese, they date everything, like how long of like the emperor reigned for, or at least the current year of how long he reigned for. It's like so right now it's I forgot what they call their the emperor. It's not Heishi, but I forgot what they call their emperor, but it's year 5 for them. I think year 5 or year 6, or probably even a little bit more than that, because the the previous emperor before him abdicated, even though he was not supposed to do that. So yeah, I'm very global when it comes to history of recordings.
Global history, global 78s. I should have put two
Yeah.
and two together sooner.
Global 78 broadcasting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure someday we'll just go to Japan with Troy. He'll just speak fluent Japanese and buy all the 78s.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
Yeah,
go over there and just buy every. I mean, I know a store in Japan in Tokyo that sells a bunch of 78, so, and phonographs too as well.
And there's nonstop flights from Detroit, so
Yeah, you're gonna come with
Yeah,
me.
you're just going to watch a bunch of anime and just with the original Japanese language and subtitles, and that's how you're gonna learn.
I'm not actually, you know what? I'm not a big anime guy. I'm not like,
Neither am I.
yeah, I'm not a big anime guy. I do actually. I watching some films, some classic films that Michiko actually sent me. Some films from like the 20s and 30s, some Japanese films from like the 20s and 30s, and I'm like currently looking to that. I don't know. I just find them better than just anime, honestly, or to me, are just more entertaining.
Well, at least the guy's learning something from it.
Yeah, because I want to learn things that's like at least in Japanese culture, just out of the norm from it. Just like just like in our culture, I guess. If you get what I mean.
I think I do. Troy?
Yeah. So like I honestly I don't know. I just find watching Japanese films from like the 20s and 30s like just much better than it was than just looking at like a lot of and like my cousin. Like my cousin, he watches a lot of anime, so I find watching that like Japanese movies from like the 20s and 30s with the English subtitles on them better than watching anime, whatever he watches on them.
Troy, we need to get him in here and educate him.
I don't know if that's gonna happen.
I don't know if that's possible, but
like
Let's get everybody in here. Let's get Prosuit in here.
yeah,
Let's
exactly.
get Oldies Allen here. Let's get everybody.
just get everybody in here.
Let's get Jared New from Vinylize in here.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
so we can kill him.
No.
Seriously, screw that guy.
Yeah, no, we don't want to hear Greg. Shut up.
Man, Chase, I didn't know you felt so strongly about Jared New.
Oh, what? You don't? Come on, that guy.
Greg.
Come on,
Yeah.
This guy is one of the. He's cancer. He's a literal tumor.
Like, have you seen?
I don't
the
have anything
videos?
against the guy.
Why not? He's badmouthed pretty much. He's pretty much made everything with vinyl community such an embarrassment.
Yeah, even the vinyl community hates that guy.
On the next Troy stream, we talk about how the vinyl community's going down the tubes.
How it's just going down the drain.
Gosh, that whole thing has been toxic for the longest time. I left vinyl because I can't. It's not even worth. It's not even worth doing anything with it, really.
Hey, I like 45s.
Yeah, same here.
And of course, they're the bridge for everything.
Yeah, I mean, 45s. I mean, I do like early 45s. I'm with Greg there. I'm in the Greg team. I do like early 45s. But LPs, like I said, for everyone else, it's just not so much, except for, let's say, if there's a Japanese LP. But besides that, I don't. I'm just not really into it. But I do like early 45s. I'm with the Greg team.
Let's go, Greg team.
Yeah, let's go.
Team Greg, rah rah.
Rah, I'm in college.
Matter of fact, Greg, do you still post your 45s?
I do, yes. I'm selling that all that. You know, it's funny. You guys were talking about grabbing turntables and playing records. You can't really do, as far as I know, you can't really do that with all the old equipment that I have. Like I have, you know, console stereos and stuff like that.
What
I
are you
don't.
talking about?
What? No, you guys were like earlier. There was a idea being thrown around. Like it was actually Joe's idea, having a turntable. Each one of us having a turntable and playing records in a call or something like that, recording it, having it sort of like this. I don't know if I even have the equipment to do something.
Oh yeah.
Because of my I don't know who here would even have the equipment to do. I know that was just an idea, but I'm just saying if I was going to actually execute that. I don't know. I don't think I have the equipment, but
I don't think you do.
I'm selling all the modern stuff that I've had since like 2014, like that one turntable that can't even play 78s. I have no use for that.
Yeah.
So
Well, play a 45 then. Play anything.
thank you, Joe. But yeah, no, I would prefer with something like that. I'd prefer, if I'm gonna have a new turntable, at least have the 78 speed. Why on earth are we cutting the 78 speed out of turntables? I don't understand that.
Honestly, seriously, I think
By
in
the 80s, they stopped doing
hopefully in like 10 years from now, there will be like 78s will be like actually somewhat popular again.
I could see that. You know what? I could see that actually coming. Yeah, I could see that. I feel like it would rise in popularity some in, let's say, within 10 years, because I know you just disagree. You might disagree with me with this point. I mean, you might agree or disagree with me with this point, but it's like I kind of find it sad just how 78s just don't they're kind of just less known. I mean, I guess some people say, "Oh, it's good to be less known because it makes you much cheaper," which is true. But it's just, to me, it's just sad that it's just less known, though. If you guys understand what I mean here,
I get you, Troy.
because I'm just sick and tired. I mean, I would love to educate everyone. I mean, that's what we're here for. But I'm just sick and tired of just, like, hey, this is what this is, and yada 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 yada. You know, I just really hope people would just really get into it. But I would say in 10 years, because these things do.
Considering
honest
how
with
many
you-
people,
Go ahead.
considering how many people the three of us, like you, me, and Greg, have amassed over like the last 3 years or so of just people our age in the 78 community,
Mhm.
like, oh my gosh, like what? How many have we gotten into this? Like 40, 50 people or something, somewhere around there. I definitely think all it really needs is just younger like kids today, like being shown properly what this stuff really is.
And what
I
it
think
really
that's all.
is.
I think that's all that needs to happen, really.
I can agree with that.
Once you figure it out, it's kind of awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's different from vinyl, because like with vinyl stuff, there's people who are in like their 40s, who that use this stuff new still, but you don't really have that with 78s as much. Because like my grandma, who grew up in the 50s, like she knew of 78s, but she never bought them. She always had 45s. So there's not really people that had them back in the day when they were new to talk about.
Yeah, because I think it's like when they were popular, let's say like because obviously, people like Gen X and millennials, they carry it down with their kids. So they're not really, and they grew up with, with LPs and 45s. So it's
they grew up with like cassette tapes and CDs at that point.
Yeah, and that too. So they carry it down to their kids, and so they're not really like, for example, my grandpa, right? He was born in the 20s, so he knows what a 78 is. He just never really mentioned them to me. I mean, he told me about the music, he just never really mentioned them to me, because at the time when he was alive, I just really wasn't really into them until till after, when he passed. But I think what most people is because of that generational, that generational carry on, I will call it, that generational train. When after I'm guessing after the 1950s, and how they just grew up with these things, and then they keep carrying it on, and they don't know what a 78 is, and so forth. But I do believe that it will come on in the years because, like I said, keep in mind 78s. They at least quality wise, besides it's fragile, but like quality wise, like in sound and everything, it's still there. I mean, it's still good. You know what I mean? So I'm not surprised if someone would pick them up and make them popular within 10 years. Let's just say. I'm not sure if you get what I mean, or I'm confusing y'all, but
They can sound awfully nice.
yes. Like I literally have a record
Except
from
on my phonograph.
Weapon War.
I said except on my phonograph.
Oh, what do you mean? What, you got really bad ones?
Like I'm saying they don't sound as nice as they could because my reproducer's all messed up.
Oh yeah, you got to work on that.
I'll help you get that sorted sometime.
Well, so is mine though. So yeah.
And mine.
All y'all reproducers are messed up, man.
I have a good one because I paid money for it.
Yeah, White Marcus or whoever else we decide just gonna get like it's gonna be rolling good the month that we all decide to go for it. 'Cause, like you're just gonna get 15 of us or so. Just gonna fix my reproducer. Come on, fix it already.
Right.
Yeah, you've seen some of the videos. I don't know, like I've sent in on Discord the reproducer playing, and I can't believe how amazing it sounds for like 94 years old.
Oh, okay, great guy. He just went out.
The orthophonics are really amazing. I would like to hear like a Columbia, like a one from the time, but I haven't.
Oh yeah, it's a nice machine. It
I have
is.
some sleeves actually from the late 20s, introducing the new like electrical recording stuff. It's really nice shape. So if I'm surprised by like the really good shape teens and 20 sleeves I've got in this lot.
You might have to show a couple of them. Did you show a couple of them?
I think I've sent photographs of some of them. You see, I have a few just set aside here. I have this really nice Victor sleeve from like this one here. This is an orthophonic one. So from like the late 20s, got like a nice OK electric sleeve here. Which is I actually don't have any like of the old OK records that I found in this lot. I've only got this sleeve. And I got some other Victor sleeves from the teens, and here's like an ARC perfect sleeve. I got a few of those.
Right.
I'll get around to getting more. It's just a lot of them are on records that are like mismatched, and so I want to give like.
You want to put? I'm like that too. I don't. I have a 40s Capital sleeve too, but it's not a Capital. It's a Victor. So, but I don't have a Capital record to put it in.
You don't have any Capital records?
No, actually.
I can donate some to you.
If you want to.
Yeah, me too. You can give me all. I can give you all the Stan Kenton you'd ever want.
Hey man, I'll take them all.
All the painfully modern, quote unquote, modern sounding jazz that Stan Kenton made, like Artistry and Rhythm. I got like probably 3 copies of that.
Really? Yeah.
I've got some Les Paul that I don't really like that you can have.
Yeah, all right then. I mean, I'll take them all. And if so, if I don't like the song, I just resell it. So it's like
it's a win-win.
It's a win-win. So pretty much, yeah. Just document it, and if I don't like the song, I just resell it. Like I have a couple of like 40s country records that I'm just not really a big fan of.
Who are the artists on there?
I don't remember. I have to go back and I have to go back to the living room and see it.
All right, sent the message to you, Joe.
Because I know Ben was really
Thank you.
Hank Williams 78. So.
I think it is Hank Williams. I'm not too sure, but I have to see.
You might want to talk to Ben about that thing because he really wants to get stuff by him. And I only have like one duplicate Hank Williams record because I don't want to sell my others. I guess I just want to have all of the catalog numbers. I don't know.
Right. Well,
Apparently, Greg's trying to get in again.
Oh, he wants these getting in. Hold on, I'll send him the link here.
No, I mean he's in the Streamlabs, but he's not able to get in for some reason. Like he's saying in the private chat, "Let me in."
Oh, really? That's weird. Let me see if I can find. Oh, there he is. I didn't see him there.
Welcome
Yeah,
back.
I've been having technical difficulties for the last few minutes. My biggest mistake was going outside.
Yep, we all feel that.
Yeah,
So
it's all right.
that was a mistake.
At least you're here. So that's you know.
Presentation.
Yeah, but sorry about that, Greg. I didn't see you there, so that's
No,
why.
that's
It's
fine.
like, yeah, because the panel here it's very short, so I couldn't really. I have to scroll down to see if you were there.
No, that's fair.
Oh, there goes more nickel.
Yeah, there's one.
He's having technical difficulties as well.
He probably does. Matter of fact, oh yeah. Greg has a huge market.
Wait, what?
No, you have a huge market for 70. You're gonna sell like a bunch of them.
Yeah, I plan to sell a lot of my stuff that I've had since like 2016 that I have no use for.
Yeah, Greg is actively in a Persian market trying to sell his 70s.
Persian market. What about Persian rug?
Oh, I don't know. I just have a couple. I have a thing. I think it's called the Persian market by like Xavier Cugat. It got broken, unfortunately, but I might be able to glue it back together.
Damn. I should really look into like fixing stuff more, like broken ones. Like that should really be something for me to look
It's
at.
a very fickle thing there.
Well,
It's possible though.
I had success with the one. Oh, the record itself was screwed up to begin with, so I can't play it because it's okay. It's this record, this Decca record from like I think 1952 or something, like 70 years old. You know, like the 50s, by Webb Pierce, I believe. And somebody had drilled a hole in like
Of course,
in like the label area.
as
Like,
one does.
yeah, and it made me think maybe somebody was trying to play it on like one of those like proprietary phonographs from like the teens or 20s or something. I don't know. But anyway, it was cracked all the way from where it was broken to the other side. So over half the record cracked, and I was cleaning it up as I do, and it just broke in my hand, broke completely. And I wasn't super worried about it because the one side was like worn completely, and it's not playable anyway. Like it's worn to the point, like I think somebody actually played it on like a machine for like the 1910s, like with a nail practically. The grooves are not even there hardly. And the other side, it was glued to another record. It looks like a two-sided record glued to another one, which is
What on earth?
I got a lot like that, and I don't know why, but
You have more than one like this? What the heck is going on?
that's why I'm thinking
Like
it's glued to
moments.
another record. Yeah, it was really strange. Now that side plays fine because the grooves are there and hasn't been played to death on a machine like 50 years too old. And so it was glued back together and it plays fine, except the other side is just completely ruined. So I'm not even going to bother keeping it. But it's possible. It can be a bit finicky, especially with warped records or something. I'll get around to showing it off on Discord sometime, maybe.
I don't know whether to laugh or cry.
Yeah, I've got like 4 copies of that record too now, by the way. Cry by Johnny Ray.
Oh, of course.
Oh no.
Actually, no, at least 6, actually.
Six
But somehow-
copies.
I have 10 copies of Mule Train by Frankie Lane.
Well,
Holy smokes.
I mean, the only thing worse than that is Spike Jones's Mule Train.
No, I love that. I love Mule Train, but
I do
10
like Mule
copies
Train.
Do
of it.
you want one? I'll send you 2 or 3 of them. I don't care. I just
Holy
Okay, wait, I think I'm thinking of the wrong song. Or what is that one that Spike Jones did that's like incredibly racist? Something train.
I have no idea. Off the top of my head.
There's something. No, it was something. That's not what it was. It was called Chinese Mule Train. That's what I'm thinking of.
Oh
That
no!
sounds
I
about
remember
right.
the song now.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not even any of like the really good popular records that I have tons of copies of. Like I have, I have 4 copies of "I've Heard That Song Before" by Harry James. That was the #1 hit for 13 consecutive weeks. But I only have 4 compared to like the 10 copies of this song. Or like I got 2 copies of "Personality" by Johnny Mercer.
I got a copy of
on the
that. one.
Atchison, Topeka, and the Santa Fe.
Got that one.
Do you have
I
it
don't-
last?
Hmm?
What now?
Do you have At Last by the Glenn Miller Orchestra?
Was that on Bluebird or on Victor?
Victor.
If I do, I haven't got to it yet.
Okay.
I'll get started on the Victor stuff at some point. I'm getting to the CBS OK stuff tomorrow, which is like at least 75 records, maybe more. To
Jeez.
get. Yeah, it's a lot. I got the Mercury stuff done and cleaned up. I just have to listen to it. Or not Mercury, MGM. I have Mercury catalog, but I need to clean it and listen to it still.
How do you
What's
clean your records?
Just with water.
Yeah, I don't really bother with sulfur
Never
either.
like have any of the like the cleaning alcohol or something like they recommend with vinyl. That would be just as bad as if you put water on Edison Diamond discs.
Yeah, because it was so like I remember. So I was talking to my grandmother's friend, and she had a bunch of like kind of vinyl records from like the 60s and 70s, and it's like she was just all those years she's just been cleaning them with alcohol. I bet they sound very crappy, and it looked like it was all scratched up, and it's like I just don't like seeing that.
Yeah.
I remember hearing about some guy who was very insistent and defensive about insisting on cleaning 78s with straight up whiskey.
What the?
Literally alcohol.
What the?
Like pure grade, like the probably I'm guessing his type of too, considering he's that much into it. Probably using like the gasoline type ones where it's extremely flammable, the type they make Molotovs out of, just like that crude whiskey.
You know what? I mean, well, that's the alcoholics version of cleaning 78.
Seems like a waste of whiskey.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be expensive, I'd imagine.
Yeah, too. It's like why would you do that? It's just like,
You want so you can get a buzz off of sniffing your 78s. You can get alcohol poisoning from licking your 78s.
yeah.
Maybe this guy was like washing the 78s with whiskey and then drinking it afterwards.
Oh, there you go. Like,
All that nasty old dust.
Disgusting.
And, like,
It's like,
hair.
All the tobacco and
Yeah, tobacco.
He's a real collector.
Oh yeah, only real collectors do it that way. They
Yeah, if you don't
drink,
melt down shellac and drink it, you're not a true collector.
getting every bang for your buck there.
yeah. What's something else weirdest, like anomalies or otherwise, that you've seen in your time 78ing, like stuff like that, or like how Colton mentioned earlier, like he had like copies of 2 records glued to one another and things like that. Like what's some of the weirdest things that you've found just out in the wild that's like that, just absurd things done to records like that?
Jeez, I don't know anybody that, at least I would say my 4 years into this, I never knew anybody that would do something strange to a 78. So really nothing so far for me.
I mean, obviously, there's the types that like to turn it into quote unquote art or something like that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
those.
that's my
Like
Yeah.
they're perfectly good 78s to do it as well.
Mm-hmm.
All
Yeah.
those perfectly good 78s to do it, and usually like ARC stuff too.
Like I've got
Yeah,
a lot of
let me just-
records, but
Let me just get Robert Johnson Romeo over here and just tie it on a string and put crayons on all over and hang it up right in my store here.
Oh, that is cringe. Yeah.
And then if someone offers to buy it, don't sell it to them.
Yeah, you just break it right in front of them. Now no one gets it.
No. Yeah, there you go. Oh man.
I found a guy on YouTube who took 78s and we
Please
just
don't be talking about the boot guy. I hate
Is it
that
the boot-
boot guy.
Is it the boot guy
I don't know. I
again?
don't know who this boot guy is, but this guy, he would just splatter paint all over them.
Oh,
that's another interesting fact.
Oh,
It was like
Performance
he's like,
art
"This
moment.
is art," and I'm like, "Not really. You're just dripping paint onto a record and ruining it,
This is ruining it. Yeah.
and it doesn't even
Ah,
look."
yeah.
And then of course they have the argument like, well, art is subjective or something like
Oh
that.
no! Get out of here! I could talk about art all day.
Right.
Okay, for those of you not in the know, either on stream or in here, that don't know about the boot guy, there was this one channel. I don't know if they're still doing stuff, but this guy who had like army steel-toed boots, and he was somewhere in like either in the UK or Europe, where he would just where he would just get a bunch of them and then just slowly start crushing them with his boots, and like he'd slowly go over each one of them. And turns out it was a kink fetish thing of crushing 78s with steel-toed boots. I see, and like all the comments were like, "Let me feed the boots," and other things like that.
Well, he was doing that to radios, and there was even a console or two that made it into that, and
Yeah,
telephones,
just
all kinds of stuff.
A lot of older
Absolute-
stuff too, not just 78s. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That was just that was heartbreaking. Actually, that was probably the most, I would say, the most terrible thing that I've seen when it comes not just with 78s, but just antiques as a whole.
Troy's enraged.
So that's
wherever he was. Whenever
Good.
he first showed me it, I remember how angry he was at that.
What a waste
Me?
of resources.
Yeah. Who, me?
No,
Yeah. Just like
channel.
just that guy, yeah.
Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah. Because basically his arguments are like, well, nobody use it. They're too common, or
No, they're just old. That's his
they're
argument.
just old.
They're old.
Yeah.
The
So
name
nobody
is thrown
cares.
away. Nobody liked it. It's old. Who uses it? It's old.
Uses it.
You have shitty music taste. You like old music.
Old music, aka the NPC music. NPC
The
music.
NPC.
Yep.
Yeah, and they have, and I think one of his arguments too, when I was looking through his comments, like he was talking to a collector that collects, I think like old radios, and one of his arguments was, well, it doesn't really worth anything, so why not keep why should I keep it or something like that.
And you know, if this guy was like, if he just walked by like an episode of Antiques Roadshow being filmed where they've got this like 17th century French dresser or something,
Oh, they would stone him.
they would just
Yeah,
No,
just
they
like
just
slowly
marvel
start
at it.
warping it up and then just like light matches on it.
Oh,
No, I was
everybody
gonna-
in the
Cigarettes on it.
Antique would just stone him to death if they actually just do that. So
No, I was gonna say they would marvel at that because it's worth a lot, and
Oh.
marvel at stuff that's not worth a lot.
like stuff from like the 19th, well, it depends where in the 19th century, but stuff like I would say mostly in the 20th century just doesn't really worth anything, at least to his logic. Which, with depending what it is, it can be true. I mean, there's even stuff from like the 19th century that doesn't really worth as much, but still, that doesn't mean you have to destroy it.
Yeah.
Apparently,
You know
it
what I mean?
is of some people.
But yeah, so
I've got a Decca record here. It's Bless You and Address Unknown by the Ink Spots, and on one side of it, it's a whole bunch of
Fabulous.
on the A side on Bless You, it's there's a whole bunch of like white paint like splattered all over like a part of the record.
Of course, there is. Why wouldn't there be?
It sounds
Um,
terrible.
one of the records that you got.
Yeah, I found another one. I think that had another another like bit of paint like that. Not as much as this Ink Spots record, but I think there was another one that had the same thing on it.
Yeah, that is pretty cringe.
At least Address Unknown is
Yikes.
fine, but still.
Like
It
there
reminded me of something.
there's
Go on.
dabs of paint on it, like on the grooving.
Yeah.
Go on.
What War? You're about to say something.
Oh, I thought you meant Colton. Go on. Anyways, I found a record with some kind of adhesive on it, and it's unplayable.
Checks
It's not.
out.
The pizza on it.
Pizza?
No,
Adhesive.
adhesive like glue. Like
Oh,
it's
adhesive.
Oh,
it's not like covering the whole thing, and it's not that sticky anymore. It's just like this hardened thing on it.
Ah, yes, my favorite, old adhesive.
It's
From the
just on
70s.
one
Good
side, so the other
adhesive.
side is playable. But yeah, it's just I don't know. It's not that good of a record, so I might just burn it.
What?
No. Get out of here.
That's the logic the vinyl people use.
Ah, yes, it's not that good of a record, so it better go in the garbage.
better go in the car. I actually met a lot of vinyl collectors that's just like that. Honestly, yeah, it's like
This sucks.
it sucks. So therefore, yeah, just burn it to the ground.
These people usually don't care about the history of this stuff at all.
Yeah.
Like usually
Yeah.
not. Like it's usually about like what they have in front of them, and that's it.
Pretty much. That's what I see with vinyl people.
Like, I have
They
a
just,
hard
oh,
time.
I think they just care about like just really the music on it. They don't really dig deeper, like what the history behind it.
They probably just care about being cool and hip
Yeah, having
at
a-
the
yeah.
times.
And I want to be
I mean,
with the cool kids, you know.
I
Yeah.
mean, some people spend so much money on turntables, like ridiculous
It's
amounts of money.
Audio Technica. It has to be an Audio Technica. Anything
Well,
other
there's
than
nothing-
that, then you're
there's-
ruining your records.
There's nothing
There you
wrong
go.
with the LP 120, but it's like people like they go above and beyond the Audio Technica, and they'll just get like $3,000 turntable. I think, what the heck are you doing?
I've not even
You
spent
don't
that much
need
on
that.
those records.
I mean, if you're all for audio clarity, more power to you. But saying that everybody else needs to have a $3,000 turntable, no,
Just
no.
forcing it down
Screw
people's
that
throats.
noise. Screw that noise.
Like I think I was like shitted on because I have a BSR.
Yeah,
Dude,
record
this-
changers
I-
are hated by those guys.
I don't get like I've got like over the years I've gotten like several people that say that that my Caliphone is shit, yet they never explain why. Like nobody's able, and like the one explanation I did get, it was something that made no sense whatsoever.
So
Like it was, and
I've
like
heard
I don't
that-
think it even applied to my model. Probably one of the models from the 50s. I have like one of the 90s ones.
what they're just saying, like what, like the arm, like the tone arm is just too heavy, or
They
what?
they say that it's the needle itself, is a quote unquote standard one compared to the regular one needed. Like even though it's both like flip like a flip stylus for like 78 and LP/45. Like it says that those somehow are carving up record there, but it's like okay, these are schoolhouse players. These people have been doing this stuff forever, and their success is how they've been able to thrive. That's how they become so famous, because they're so great quality. So
Oh,
how
yeah.
are they the ones that Caliphone, since they've been doing stuff for like what 60, 70 years,
Somewhere around there.
that all of their record players, every single one of the multiple hundreds of models that they had, all of them, especially the praised 1030 AV that I have, like how is that bad then? Does anybody know any about this? I honestly, does anybody actually know what this whole Caliphone hate is? I can't understand it at all.
I don't understand it. I don't know what the
I
whole
don't-
California is.
I don't know what to tell you there, Chase. All I know is that Fardmark loves the old Caliphones from the 50s and early 60s.
Wait,
And they look really nice.
wait, he's on board with the Wait, he likes them, or he's on board?
likes
He
with them?
does.
Yeah, he's restored a few of them.
Okay. Oh yeah, you know what? I've seen his Seaberg videos, and he had a Caliphone Rem. So Reem.
I don't know what models he has. I just know that he likes the Caliphones. I more power to him.
Greg, do you have a
Yeah.
Schoolhouse player? I think you had a Schoolhouse player.
I wouldn't call it a schoolhouse player. I just call it a kind of a late portable. Not really sure what its intended purpose is. Seems very 70s, kind of 80s looking. I'm probably not going to keep it or just use it for parts.
Joe's still here. He's been quiet forever now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right.
I'm here. Yep.
If we're talking too much for you, just don't be afraid to just butt in the conversation.
Yeah,
We stomp on each other all the time.
yeah, we do that. Yeah,
Happens a
No,
lot
what-
around here.
What you're talking about is very interesting.
Yeah. I mean, do you have anything to add on it? I mean,
yeah.
I imagine you may know something about this.
Well, one thing about, I don't know about California. I have some, when we were kids in grade school in the 60s, the teacher would bring in a strip film thing, let's say, and she would bring out the maybe California suitcase kind of record player that was supposed to be played with a film strip. And so it'd be like, this is an oak tree, beep, and that beep, the teacher was supposed to advance
Oh,
the
yeah.
picture.
Mhm.
Oh, this is the leaf of an oak tree, beep, and then advance the thing. Well, those are really rugged, and I don't think the frequency response on those is all that great. But the nice thing about those for 78s is, let's say you take records up to the mid 30s, there's not a lot of frequency range on those things.
Mm-hmm.
So those kind of record players probably will produce what is on the record. Because if you start playing a late 20s, earlier record on a super modern $4,000 turntable, all you're picking up is extra noise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
The hiss, things like that. So I think
Yeah.
that a California, like that, is probably very, very good for that kind of record because that's all there is on it. You're
It
not
is,
gonna-
and
Yeah.
yeah, and like it's a very simple tone, or I better describe it as a timbre function knob where you twist it and like it takes all the way down to like the lowest of bass, or it's mostly bass, and all the way up to the treble at the highest. But just near like the middle round and around that area going down, if you keep it around there and put it on anything, you get very low, like all the hiss and tick. It's very low sounding, so it's not jarring or irritating to listen to. And really, when I get those things up and running, get it high and like turn out the volume, you can, depending on the record, it can sound absolutely fantastic. Like it sounds just like an Audio Technica. The best thing there.
Yeah, and I start to notice that from while I was watching your videos too, Chase, too as well. Like what Joe said was literally like you can hear the record much better on the California, and I started to notice that when I was watching your videos more and more and more when I was listening to your records. So, I mean, I need to get myself a California too.
Granted, I mean, of course, for anything, there's always going to be a couple of records that are just horrible examples because they're so battered and whipped as I'm hearing them described nowadays.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Chase, in that that tone knob on the Caliphone, because we have the same model. Is just fiddle around with that on certain records, depending on the year.
Yeah.
And just really pinpoint the sound that you want to hear, like the best sounding, where the knob turns. It's just great. I just love it. It's great.
For Warnickel, I just noticed on your channel that you uploaded a Chevy ad record, a little type hit of the week style record.
Yeah, Durian.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chase gave me some advice on that, and I probably should have done something about that to make it.
No, there's no advice to give. They were awful.
Well, no, I mean, for like how he was playing it, it's like, put a record underneath that instead of playing it like it is, because Durian.
No. My point is the fidelity on those weren't very good anyway. So you did a fine job. But that was another example: is you could have a $5,000 stereo, and it's not going to do you any good to play that kind of a record on a $5,000 stereo. The fidelity isn't in the record. You did a fine job, and I like those things. I got a few different takes on those things. These little cardboard advertising records. They're nice.
What's interesting about that is that there's a address on the back, and it's in Detroit. And I'm just like, I wonder if the house still exists.
Yeah, I've looked that up for some on some records and sleeves I've owned before, and yeah, the houses seem to still be there.
Yeah, and the,
Yeah,
I looked that up on a lot of things on like magazines and stuff like that. Just wondering if the houses are there.
the
The
1932 Chevy is still parked in the driveway.
Yeah, that you can see on Google Street View. You can see a family getting out, and it's like a picture from like 1943.
That would be funny.
Yeah. Google Street View archive edition.
Chase, you should create that.
Heck yes, yeah. I'll be the creator of that, and I'll
And
just
make
what I'll
sure-
be doing is I'll just be stealing pictures from like different county archives and then just pasting it in there, so it just doesn't. It's not edited in the perfect way, so it's just all stretched out and terrible looking.
And make sure it's and Chase, make sure it's every block.
Yes, every
Every
block
block.
of the same picture over and over again, and like the same like a stock picture of the pavement and a stock picture of the sky and everything else. Like just crappily put through Deodify to make it look like it's in color, so it's like all saturated and all in sepia tone.
Right.
Mwah, perfect.
There you go.
Chase creates an art piece.
Yeah. You know, I mean, Greg, I think you should do the same thing too for Canada.
Yeah, I should just.
Yeah, we'll collaborate and just we'll put a Lammy stock photos over there. So like you'll just have like the A's and like the different letters and at symbols all over the place so it's just absolutely obnoxious to look at.
And if you just zoom in at all, you just get like a super blown up picture of Justin Trudeau's face. Like literally anywhere. You could do a fire hydrant.
Get the blackface picture.
Yeah.
And we'll have that Rudy Valley picture of his and just paste that at every street corner.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be every stoplight.
Hi ho,
Make
everybody.
sure it's in
Hi-ho.
Toronto though.
Cheerio, everybody.
Make sure it's in Toronto. Make sure everyone loves that. Everyone loves them over
No,
there. So make
No,
sure
it has to be and it has to be like just every single picture, like every single picture in the entirety of Connecticut. It's just him.
It's just Rudy Valley.
Just Rudy
Yes.
Valley.
Yeah.
There you go.
And then right next to it in Rhode Island, just all Will Osborne.
Just like rename the states too.
Yeah, rename the states to
love how
not
they-
even to names, just name it to matrix numbers of records. So it's just absolutely convoluted mess.
Can we just change Brooklyn's name to like May Westville?
Yeah.
He was Bill.
Yeah. Let's change Cincinnati to Victorville.
There you go.
Mm.
All right. Yeah. It's 11 o'clock. So
Well, if I
I'm
try to go for like a few more minutes, and here we are, like 2 hours later.
like just 2 hours later.
That's
Yeah, I
like
just
45
said
minutes
well, a
to
few
shut
more
up.
minutes, and then it's like just 2 hours later, we're just still talking. So it's like I really want to shut down the stream. But if is there anybody who has their last thoughts that they want to get it to, or just want to shut the stream down?
Rudy Valley is better than Will Osborne.
Bite me? No, no,
No, what?
absolutely not.
Great.
Rudy
Come on.
Valley is horrible.
This is the
In the
joke.
later years, I know.
No.
I don't know about you, but I honestly, unbiasedly can't stand some of his stuff from like 1935 onwards.
Yo, you got something to say from all of this?
Oh, I just thought of something when you were talking about odd 78s and people did things
Mhm.
to them. I picked up a big stack years ago of like World War I or 1910 era records. And
Mm.
at that time, standard record players, the wind-up ones, had a spindle the size of a nickel about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so a
Oh,
regular 78 wouldn't play on them. You had to buy standard brand record players to play.
right. Yeah, I know those.
Sort of like Busy Bee had something like that. So
I
somebody
love
at
it.
that time, when they bought the records, must have had a standard phonograph and took a drill bit and drilled the holes big enough, about the size of a nickel, so they could play their Victors or Columbias on a standard phonograph.
Every single record.
Every single record. Because they didn't want to pay for a Victor phonograph. They wanted to pay for the cheap standard phonograph.
Okay, I think or was it like
Pa brings home
United
the
Record?
78.
It had to be like
No hole.
United, like
Yeah,
that company. Yeah, so
that
they
was
had like
another
the
one, I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah,
used hand tools.
or like
Yeah.
no, they had Busy Bee was the ones that had like a spin hole, but then like the rectangle, like about an inch underneath the label.
right. And there was, I think, Aretino that had
Yeah,
a
the
hole
really
in it
big
the
holes.
size of a coffee cup or something. In
Yeah.
Right.
there. Oh, geez.
When Pa brings
Anything to
home
make a few bucks.
78, it's time to drill a hole in them.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Oh, I said every time Pa comes home, it's time to drill new holes in the 78s.
Give them a target practice. That's how you get the spindle holes.
Hey, my uncles used Edison diamond discs as target practice. Not even kidding.
Seriously? When were
Yeah.
you gonna tell me this?
I already did, but you didn't react to it.
That must have been one of the time. When was this?
Like 2 months ago.
That must have been one of the times when I was like 18 tabs into finding stuff out, like working on the book and such.
Sounds about right.
All right. And War, you got something? Last things in your thoughts?
Oh, I was gonna say, have you guys heard of? I think his name is Tanner Gid, and his
Tanner who?
Skillet
Or
Liquors or something. Yeah.
Gid Tanner and his Skillet Liquors. Yeah, from what I hear, you're like a pretty hot band around like the Texas area. Pretty sure. And Eddie would know all about Gid Tanner, I think.
I'm not a huge fan of country, but I definitely liked one of the records I found from him. So
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I think Greg. I think you got your point across. Colton, do you got anything else to add?
Not in particular, no.
No. Okay. So I'm gonna shut this down. Thank you for everyone for coming by. I'm having just to get a chat. The last stream of my grandpa's house. So this is basically the last stream. I'm just here. And
Troy, we met you at this house. We've had a ton of grand times here, and
yeah.
it's been a great couple of years. But unfortunately, all good things must come to an end.
Yeah.
So have your house.
So yeah, that's yeah. So that's pretty much what's gonna happen. I will make a video of me complaining about it, but just have like a little short rant about it and what's my worldview on these things. But that is sad, unfortunately, and things might just have to come to an end. So I have a lot of memories in this house. Like I said in the beginning, I had very good memories here, and I actually thought of my YouTube channel in this house too as well. So and it was literally just me and my friend. I just wanted to be this one big history channel because I like world history, and then later on I met you guys, and I kind of ditched it, to be honest with you, because it was a lot of time, and I just really started from there, and now it's I'm gonna miss being here pretty much. So yeah. So I'm gonna shut down. Thank you for everyone for coming. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.